Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Scrying Pool Clan podcast. This one...
Nice intro.
Yeah. This one, like the last one, has had several issues getting off the ground. This one has just been because everybody has been telling me to wait, or everybody has been telling everybody to wait.
Wait.
I blame Rubik.
This was supposed to start like over a day ago, but delays have happened. Anyways, so I'm here today with Last Kitten.
Hello.
Captain Lime.
Hiya.
I'm Rubik.
Hey.
Gina
He's a
Bay.
noob.
Hello.
Robo.
Oh, hi.
And Surveillance.
Hello.
With a wild Cryptic lurking in the wings. He doesn't have a mic, or his mic isn't on, or whatever. He may or may not be including various comments in the chat that may or may not be included because I feel like including them or not. Ha ha ha.
Essentially, he's being a noob.
Basically. So yeah, there's a little bit of a sorry for not getting another one of these after the September BTS, but shit happened. I had crappy internet. Everybody else had stuff to do, and yeah, it didn't happen. I somehow think that this is probably going to be the best for us anyways, doing them once a month, kind of at least getting into the near future. But yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff happened in September, especially the live streams and a couple rather large updates. So I guess we'll just get
One rather large update.
Huh?
One rather large update.
Well, one rather large update and one that has the potential to be a super large update, but we'll get to that in a bit. First thing I want to talk about is the God Wars Dungeon rework. I was right smack in the middle of my hiatus when this happened, so I know nothing about it. So
Same
I open
goes
the
for
floor
me.
for you guys to
Since I'm such a noob, I couldn't go there.
discuss this.
Well, it actually seems pretty nice. I like how they have like journal drops from all the bosses now. And you don't even have to go into the bosses, like you can just like camp outside. Well, I mean, it would have been interesting if you had to get it yourself, but still. Oh,
Yeah.
one downside on it though, didn't they say there's going to be like new music there?
I don't know, I was actually about to ask that.
Right.
Did they add music in the bosses so Strength of Saradomin isn't actually playing in the Zilly boss fight room?
Well, I guess I've never actually been in the boss room, so I wouldn't know.
Well,
I didn't really notice it. I did the whole kind of God Wars Dungeon journal hunt thing, but I didn't really hear any new music. Maybe I don't know if I wasn't just paying attention or something, but I didn't notice anything different other than the journals and obviously all the graphics.
how are the...
As far as my knowledge, there's no music added, and I've never seen them say anything about adding it. But I've been away for just as long as you were for this board.
Yeah, well, yeah. How did they change the way that the boss mechanics worked?
They changed next, and I think a couple of the other bosses.
Samara one, General.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know that they
changed-
changed Zammy.
Massive. Yeah.
Oh, and I think you can melee Crow, or not Crow, I mean, Kree now.
Kriara.
Kriera.
No, actually, you can't.
You
They
can?
changed Kriar to be standing up, which was a big problem because she was flying before, and so obviously you couldn't hit her because she was
Yeah.
flying like her Advances. But what they've done now is when you get close to her, she blows you away just like the giant rock does.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So,
you effectively
I'm not even
can't
sure if you-
melee, but
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you can actually lay a hit. I think as soon as you step within a space
3,
close, she
2,
just
so.
gets out.
If you're Wooks, you could do it.
well, but
Yeah,
none of us
he'll-
are wooks,
He'll
so
glitch his way into it.
there, problem solved. Okay. So there has been slight changes. I know from my little knowledge, I love that they added a new mage set because I'm a mage noob. Like totally.
Yeah, subjugation.
I love the subjugation set because of the damage boost that they give. And it's about freaking time that they release a mage set that actually does that. Like really about time. To be honest, I
Decent
think they
lore,
should
too.
weaken the spells and have all the mage sets give damage boosts of varying amounts. Like even half the damage, and then seriously up the damage boost for staves, and then give all mage equipment damage boost. But that's just something that I would like to see, and I don't know. I guess that's something to think about.
You see, they could do that, but then there'd be form rage.
Well, but there's form rage for every update. So what's the difference?
Yeah. I think that would be a good idea, to be honest, because instead of just saying, like, well, this spell specifically is overpowered, then make it overpowered with specific setups. I mean, yeah.
See, that would be something that they would have to put into the EOC as they do it.
That would be a gigantic update, though. Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge rework for mage combat.
Just to say my opinion, I'm not sure that that's what they want to do, because they wanted to encourage variety in the armor that people use, and by just making one armor have the best mage damage bonus, everyone would wear it.
Oh, I'm fully well aware of that, and yeah, that does corral it into that same problem that we see with Bandos armor now, or Bandos and Torva, but Torva's so ridiculously expensive that nobody actually uses it. Well, unless you're freaking rich, but like really.
Who isn't freaking rich?
Actually, I can't actually say anything. But me and my 1.1 million nature runes chilling on the market.
Disgusting.
Just waiting for that freaking bot nuke to hit, which we'll discuss in a bit. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of part of the problem, and I guess we'll talk more about this with the EOC a little bit later. But yeah, it's interesting.
I like how Nex looks like the different types of races she was experimented with now.
Ooh. Yeah, I haven't actually seen the new Nex.
She shares more traits with the ancient icy and demons and vampires.
Yeah.
Like she has like fangs coming out of her mouth and giant wings that look like demon wings, but then have like
legit feathers.
Oh,
Also,
was this revealed in the lore books?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, they talk about it in the journals.
Yeah, because I haven't heard of that since from anywhere else.
Also, apparently, and I didn't get the journals, I just looked up the transcript. Apparently, Nex favors humans.
For food?
Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
That was in the old game guide when they'd said the Avency, all the races she came from. Like it just said that she shares traits of, and then all these different races.
Okay, is there anything else that in the journals that was interesting, Robo?
Oh, a lot.
Next journal was the best, I have to say.
Because I mean, this is
right up
our alley here with the journals.
Let's see.
They gave like 2 seconds worth in their live stream, in RuneScape's live stream. The
forces of Armadillo were transferring the God's Sword and then got attacked by Zamorakian forces. Went into the Temple of the Lost Ancients, which is where Nex is already trapped. And then they were calling for backup, and then Zoyana's Saradonan forces went to help out. And then Bandos came in to help out, but actually it was on Zamorak's side. And then what happened then? Eventually it all broke out into different types of war because Zoyana wanted to get the God Sword for herself and set out an attack on Kriera's forces. And eventually, then from the books we learned that Saradonan granted Zoyana these different amulets that bared the symbols of Zamorak, Bandos, and Armadillo. She broke them at first, but they came back the next day, and so she gave them to each of her followers, like, you know, Bree, Growler, and then Starlight. And then whenever they were gone, like far away, she could talk to them through it, and she could like make them think something that she said, basically manipulate them. And so what she did was she gave the amulets to the different forces, well, made it seem like they won them by like having her followers wear them, probably die or something. They find it, pick it up and wear it. And essentially she just manipulated the other forces.
So it's basically Zilly manipulating everybody. That's
wow.
That's interesting. That's interesting with that they decided to go that route.
she specifically did that to Armadillo's forces. They wanted to make them think that Zilyana was going to attack, and so they went to like what they called the waterfall, and Zilyana knew they were coming and just killed them all. And then the Armadillo Journal was written by one of the Avians who figured out that the amulets were what they were using, and he told everyone to take them off, but that was the last thing he wrote.
Yeah, I can see that didn't go well for him.
Yeah, he had suggested that Kriera should attack Zilyana with the God Sword because Zilyana stole Kriera's crossbow. And so he still has a God Sword to use. He's like, yeah, you should use that. That's a greater weapon than anything she can use. But essentially, I guess that didn't go well because it ends up broken, shards everywhere, hilts differently.
Yeah.
So
Did it talk about the different hilts, like how the different hilts came to be?
I'm going to guess that the God Sword went into each faction, at least for a period of time, because in the old game guide it said that whoever had the God Sword at the time was winning, but it obviously didn't win them the actual battle.
Yeah, because there ended up not being a winner and ended in a deep freeze.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm happy with the God Wars update, is that they introduced more lore into something that could be incredibly lore rich. And also, as just an aside, we do have Walter's Kong in the call now as well. He does not have a mic, but he will be pitching in via the chat.
In the chat.
So.
also, he's incredibly pessimistic.
We all know this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all know Walter. But yeah, okay. So, aside from... Yeah, I'm gonna not touch the question that Walter has. He just asked if the waterfall is the way into her place, but I think we should move on at this point.
Yeah.
Next...
I found it interesting because with the with most of the God Wars dungeon, they didn't actually change the shape of it. They just spruced it up with different graphics and animations. But I noticed that for Zilyana's boss area, that was actually changed. You went straight and across rather than turned into her area. If you've been there, but it's changed. And also we didn't cover this before, but they changed the requirement for all the places. So for Armadillo, that you don't have to have a they don't have
grapple. They changed the item requirements. That's right. Yeah, you don't have to have this hammer, although the hammer's on the tool belt anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. So they kept the hammer requirement because you already have it.
But yeah, no rope, no grapple. And do you still have to cross the whatever that is that deals 700 damage to you?
You just jump in.
You lose prayer.
Okay, interesting.
You still lose prayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so yeah, Walter says.
And
all right,
I think the darkness, it doesn't get dark anymore.
Oh well, that's good because that was kind of annoying.
I don't even know what that is. So okay.
For Krill, as you would go deeper into his lair, it would get darker and darker.
Interesting. Okay, so they removed that as well. So it's some interesting little changes then, as well as the big major ones and the addition of lore. So that's one that, God Wars, I was surprised when I saw it on the BTS, to be honest. I was like, well, they just redid that like 2 years ago. But with all the additions and with all the little tweaks and stuff to try and keep it updated, it seems like it was a good move on their part, and it gave us a lot to talk about for sure. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is going to be the daily challenges and the notice board that they added I guess just to give people stuff to do. I mean, as if randomly leveling stuff isn't enough.
I mean,
pretty much.
I want the quest tab back so badly.
Same.
Oh my god.
Well, here's what they're gonna do, and it's gonna take a while, but they're gonna make it so the notice board will be just like any other, like what the quest tab was, except for bigger, and it won't have that black background. You can see through it and do stuff behind it, but it's taking them a while to do it due to technical issues.
No, but
Yeah,
I just want the tab that I can click on and not have to like black out my screen just to see quests.
No, that's what I'm saying, that they're gonna fix that.
Can they just put that?
No, they cannot. End of discussion.
Damn.
And yeah,
This is why we can't have nice things.
exactly.
Rubik
yeah,
broke
I
it.
blame Rubik.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
I did not break it.
Too
Sure
bad.
did. Yeah, so we have that, and the daily challenges themselves. People were having some fun ones, like that were actually impossible. So I guess Rubik had a thing on the thing before we had to F5 it 50,000 times. Thanks, Rubik. About wonky challenges that you actually couldn't complete. What were some of those? I saw a couple, but
The fire making one where we had to light all the beacons. For some reason, it just wouldn't work for any variation of it. Like it just wouldn't count.
oh, they mentioned that today, I think, and that might have been what they were alluding to with the beacons and it not working right, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Rubik had a thing on the thing. That's true. I did just say that, didn't I? He had.
That can be taken in any way.
Yeah, see, the problem was the reason they put up a sticky saying unfair challenge bags tell us, and the reason they did that was because a challenge would say craft 200 blue dragon hide items, and people would do bodies and expect to be refunded
Oh,
the entire amount
of 200 blue
when
dragon hide.
yeah
Well,
yeah, and so people would do the best option for them and assume it would refund them everything, but the game assumed that you would do the easiest course, which would be Van Braces, which only require one dragon hide. And so people complained, and so that's why they've changed it now to be craft 200 blue dragon hide Van Braces and adamant daggers. So.
The biggest issue with that though was the construction.
120 mahogany wardrobes. No, I'm not buying. I'm not buying that.
No, and they wouldn't even give a refund bag back or anything. It would just be XP and a Squill Fortune
that's
spin.
nasty, and that's expensive
Yeah,
too.
it was-
Holy crap!
Yeah, or it was like I got one that was like 300 something magic
Oh,
longbows.
I got 300.
I was just like-
I got 336 magic short bows, and I did them,
Oh.
and I was done.
It might have been short
and
bows,
was
I don't remember,
Okay,
but-
whatever. Who cares?
I was laughing at like the nearly 300k XP I got for a C1 dungeon.
What?
I was like, this is
What?
wonderful.
What?
Before they nerfed the XP, I just thought it was so cool. I was like, no, now it's like 100k if you do a C6. It's but it was still funny. I was like, I'm okay with these challenges
it's
now.
fine. I get 300k for 1 minute of work, 2 minutes of work, 2.5 minutes if it's a bad map. But yeah, that's kind of
Or 5 minutes if you're Lime.
or more if you're Walter.
Just because you can't key.
Yeah. Well, I can't key either, but I'm ignoring dungeoneering for a while. So yeah, let's see here. We've still got system challenge bug. Oh look, Cryptic has a link for us. What?
It's hilarious. Just if you see just look at it, the number is just oh my god.
What?
All right.
The essence of magic have wizard
Yes, the teleport
property
you
teleport you to the essence
times.
336
He's got
times.
this,
Let's
guys.
do this.
Pro challenge.
Well, I think it's not for you to train anything, but for you to help Wizard Cromperty get up his magic level by teleporting 336 times.
As if he doesn't do that enough with bots or something.
It's insane.
Bots even use them?
That's kind of
Oh
a
my
failed
God.
challenge, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You need to throw up the picture up there on the. Otherwise, nobody will get it.
Yeah, I guess that maybe I don't know. I can put it up later. Here, I'm gonna.
Oh.
I don't know how long we're into this call, but
Yeah, but basically, guys, if you can't see the video, if you can't see the picture, it just says it's just a challenge saying have Wizard Cromperty teleport you to the Rune Essence mine. So it's pretty simple.
No
It'd be
hints.
no sweat if
No
you're
hints.
Yeah,
Challenge.
yeah, no hints.
good luck.
Didn't it say like 300
everyone
times?
knows. 336.
Oh,
To cast number 4.
Takes you what, 30 seconds to do it? I'm not gonna spend that long.
Yeah.
Okay. There. Okay, so I've downloaded that, and that'll hopefully be in the thing if I can remember it. If it's not, somebody do something. I don't know. Yeah.
Somebody yell
Put
at
a
him.
link to it in the info box under
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So,
All right, let's
anybody
move on.
else have anything to say about that other than give us our quest tab back? No. Okay. Next up is the 2 Ozan quests, the lore, and the Al-Kharid rework.
Love them. They're so good.
Yeah.
Start off with the lure first.
You guys can't tell, but my hands are in a victory
Why?
position right now.
Why?
Okay.
Because it was an amazing update.
It was an amazing
Yeah.
update, not gonna lie.
It was. Best
It was
update of the
epic.
year. Best
It was
update
just-
of the year by far.
So much epicness.
Yep.
So much win, it hurts.
Yes, I did.
Did you click on the link?
And that is going to be saved and put into the...
I have another one.
Hold on, I'm gonna read.
Just hilarious dialogue. If anyone has no idea why we're suddenly
Is that the
laughing.
torch? On.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay, it was in dialogue.
Just start clicking on links and
Yeah,
putting
that's
them
what I'm
on
probably
the
gonna end
video.
up doing. Oh yeah, I saw that and I cracked
Yes.
up. Oh my god. I was like, what are you thinking, Jagex?
Yeah. Have you seen the examine text on the throne in the
I
palace?
think so.
wait,
It's-
what was the examine text?
It's like someone's compensating
I
for
didn't
something.
see that.
It's like, oh, crap.
no. So they went all out with that shit. Oh, why did
Yeah.
they do this? Oh look, a cryptic link.
Yeah, basically.
No, not just no. Anyway,
Shut up. Grant.
anyways, okay, so just actually get started on talking about something relevant here, other than their innuendos and other various laughable things that they did with that. And I do love that they do this. I love those little things that they add that just make you snicker. But okay, the lore
Yeah.
itself.
All the references and also.
Thing.
Yeah, go
Let's start off
Ruby.
with the lure first. The rising sun.
That's it.
Okay.
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 All right.
No.
Good one.
Can I say something?
Sure.
All right. So, in this quest, we have not only learned the existence of coffee, which I want, but
Of
we got
coffee,
to-
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, coffee. It's amazing. We got to meet the Shah, who I will passionately refer to as
Emir.
the Sultan of
The
Al
Emir.
Kharid.
Get it right, damn it.
Emir Shah, whatever.
Yeah, we got some
That's
interesting
right.
insight about.
We got the pharaoh down south.
Yeah. Also.
I like the references in the quest. Like the Pigzilla. Did you guys see the Pigzilla reference?
Not.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I saw
like
Pigzilla.
Pigzilla.
Which one was that?
In the first
When
one.
you-
I
Well,
when the-
back when the drainer was first updated, or not even way before that, they updated
Oh,
the
yeah,
pigs.
yeah.
And one pig was given the nickname Pigzilla by the players. Well, they in the quest, as the one, I forgot his name, was walking by, he said "Hello, Pigzilla" or something like that.
Noom. That's his name, Noom.
No,
Noom. Oh, I do always call him Knum.
Well, that's because you didn't have your sound on, because it was voice activated, so they actually say
Noom.
his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Did you
that's
ever
true. I
That's
do
the
know.
helpful
watch
part.
my videos, Robo?
Uh,
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
because your
yet.
new internet hasn't
I have to wait until
started
my
yet.
internet gets
Gotcha.
better. Okay.
Which leads on to another point. Because of all the graphics and everything that they updated, Robo, you had a problem with the quest, didn't you? Could you
I
had
tell
trouble
what the
it
story?
wasn't just him though.
Okay.
There was tons of people on the forums that were complaining about how when it first came out it was all glitchy.
Okay, let's just say if you've done the quest and you had to do the first part, we had to get over the rooftops and everything. Imagine not being
It
able
was
to see the
black.
game at all. Like just hovering your mouse.
I saw screenshots
Yep, that's
that
Robo.
he took, and it was
You had to,
black.
like-
Just he couldn't see anything.
It was Robo
even
did
the
the quest
cutscenes.
blindfolded. That is how epic he is at quests.
Like, I didn't even get to see the like Emir at first. Just like chat head didn't load. I'm like, oh, what? I've been waiting to see this guy forever. He's still
You
like,
can't
just
see him. You just
Oh,
got
and all the
trolled.
cutscenes.
Yep.
And the cutscenes didn't work either. Like every time I tried to play it, the screen would go fade to gray or whatever and say, "Your computer's having trouble seeing the cutscenes. You should turn down your graphic options or skip the cutscene." And so
I know that
Actually
you had an
does
option
that?
to skip it.
Yeah.
You could hit escape, which
Well, they did a new thing with this cutscene. They had you could press escape to skip the cutscene. They haven't had
I
that
noticed
before
that.
in
I
any
definitely noticed
quest.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Why
can
would
tell
you
that
wanna
a bunch
skip
of
it?
those PvP noobs will be really happy with that.
yeah,
And
it was
yes, I
kind
did
of,
just generalize them.
It was kind of disappointing because I didn't get to see any of the cutscenes in the quest. So like that part where Lady Kelly was at the boat and everything did something freaky with the guards to make them attack us. I didn't know why the guards were attacking us. They just randomly started
Yeah.
attacking me after they said they didn't want to.
That would be problematic.
So I'm like, what?
Well, that's why I record these things and post them up to YouTube. Which,
What?
if you had the same problems as Robo did, you should watch it. Selfless.
Yeah.
The graphics for that one cutscene, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
the graphics the graphics for all of it was awesome.
Yes.
Excluding my 1 FPS.
Yeah. And
Although-
like all the animations on the cutscenes were good too. It wasn't like all clippy or anything. It was smooth and fresh and whatnot.
Although later on when I was able to listen to the quest, at least it like sounded like a movie.
Yeah, it did sound like a movie. It felt like a movie.
And
The
I think that's
entire
what they're going
quest
for.
to me.
So.
I'm really happy with the graphical rework of Al-Qarid. It seemed
Yeah.
much more like a
You've lived
Middle
in
Eastern
Turkey.
city. And
Oh, you didn't?
no,
Oh,
I
your
didn't.
parents- oh, you
My
didn't
parents
live
are
there,
from
you-
there,
Yeah.
but
you
I've visited there several
So,
times.
but either way, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what it's like.
It's not. Yeah, it was. It was. I have to say that I'm really happy with the quest because the Caridians, they are now apparently Turks. I have to say that I'm very pleased.
What do you
Thank
all
you,
think
Jagex.
about the kind of brewing issues that they brought up in the quest, especially between Carid and the Menophites? I mean, I know that was touched on before, but I don't think it was ever put forth in that much. And like, they're like literally
Perspective
about to
or
go to
anything?
war right now because of this crap.
They're
I think it's
They are
interesting.
at each
It's
other's
been hinted
throats.
at, like, it's been hinted at for like quite a long time. Like, they just got reduced down to spies and stuff, just like the Cold War and stuff. Like, how they
Speaking
have
of which,
spies
penguins.
going, seeing what they're doing.
Anyways, go on.
Yep.
all
That's
right.
awesome.
Can I just say
No.
another experience?
Yeah, sure.
When I first did Prince Ali Rescue like 5 years ago, I had no idea. Well, I did have some idea what was going on, but I had no idea that Al-Qarid and Menaphos were at each other's throats, and I did not
didn't either.
realize this
I didn't know it
until
until
this
this
year.
quest.
Yeah.
I forgot. Like I forgot about it. I used to know, but I forgot about it. Like.
And
it was
on that
into
note, I
quest.
need to go
Okay,
AFK, so bye.
All right.
Uh,
All right.
See you back later.
Just recently, well, not too recently, but like there was a war going on, but it ended not too long ago. I think it had something to do with magic carpets.
What else is new? That's interesting. And you probably know this, Robo, but where does Sophonem come in all of this? Like, because I know Menaphos is its own thing, and it's gated, and it's walled, and they've walled Sophonem in, but Sophonem is not Menaphos, even though it's just spelled backwards. Which I think I just blew half of our viewers' minds.
Yeah.
Ha!
I
Anyways.
can't. Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
All 6
Actually,
of our
it's
viewers.
It's almost spelled
Sorry, go on,
backwards.
Robo. Sorry.
If P and H were the same letter, then it would be spelled backwards. Like, because it has a F sound.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Sophonem-
same difference. They just did it
Menaphos.
phonetically backwards. But go on. What were you going to say about Sophonem itself?
Actually, I actually can't remember why they split. I mean, I'm not even sure if they were one city at one point. I remember that they've been a city for like a long time, and that they used to be like a village during the God Wars or something. But I can't remember why they split. Although I know they hate each other pretty much because Manifos has always been trying to find a way to shut Sophanum out, and since the plague happened, they just use that as their excuse, even though it's not contagious.
That's more of what I was like kind of referencing is like why, but yeah, the contact. I guess it's contact and dealing with Scarabras. No, DWS isn't focused in Sophanum. That's focused in the
Oh.
I can't remember what they call it.
I find it interesting that how Iclaren is supposed to be like the guardian of the desert now because he passed it on, Tumia can pass it on to him, and he's supposed to be taking care of Animusca, destruction and all, but Manifos is the place where Iclaren is praised most, and Manifos is like the bad guy very much. And
especially with the entire
so like
conspiracy kind of thing that they were talking about there. But yeah, I think if I remember right, at the end of the quest, I think Jabari poisoned the Emir, didn't he? Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yes.
If you're watching this before doing the quest, then fail.
It is a spoiler. The entire thing is a spoiler. So anyway,
I think we should put a spoiler tag for the whole video so we can
think you should even bother putting a spoiler tag. I think it should just be like.
If you're watching this, you should know that there are going to be spoilers.
By the way, did you notice on the quest Osmond referenced the incense? Like
he referenced
he was breathing into them a lot.
Yeah.
The incense.
Oh
yeah,
true.
That was the first thing I saw him saying there.
When you first thing you hear him say, he's talking about the incense because he's at the window. Getting fresh air.
So the incense is what exactly is the incense? I must have just missed something. What?
Well, when you start when you get to the
I know
building,
what he was talking about the incense, but I'm trying to figure out what's the significance of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was
poisoned the incense.
And the incense is right next to the Emir, and he was already frail and dying, and he just
gotcha.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It was only one drop.
It was something so small that wouldn't kill lots of people. It'd just kill someone who's really weak.
So yeah,
basically.
I knew that Jabari killed him. I just couldn't remember how. His heightened senses slightly picked it up, but he didn't realize it. Yep.
To be honest, at the very beginning, I thought when he went to the window, I thought it was just to give like some risk factor when you're sneaking around.
Now that I realize that, that's actually a brilliant story move. It's a great piece of use of literative devices or whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Okay. So, and then aside from that, there's another thing that they did with this update, and that was they filled out the entire rest of the world map. So we can see the outline, the completed outline of Manifos. We can see the outline of Priftadinas. We can apparently get to Isafdar without ever doing Regicide, which I hear some rage about.
Yeah, you can walk through the...
And we can see what is currently the rest of the southern tip of Kandrin and the southeastern tip of Mauritania. So...
Yeah, and another part of Sophanum was added to.
Oh, is that?
There's a whole other pyramid and other buildings.
Yeah, I've been there and checked. You can't enter it, or you can orb view, of course.
Yeah, there are guards.
Interesting. So is anything...
I think it was really cool that they did just update the entire map and just say, okay, hey guys, this is what we have so far.
I do like that. I do like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In the FAQ, they said that it isn't 100% set in stone and it could change, but this is basically what it's going to be.
Yeah, and
it's nice to see, like, at least a template.
It's going to be too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I'm talking about like the it can change part. Like, that's what I would have figured, because I mean they've changed so much stuff that was already in the world map recently. I mean, the Taverthorpe update completely changed everything in Berthorpe and Haverlin to basically intermesh the cities. You have the Al-Kharid update, which has completely changed the complexion of Al-Kharid. You have
and the desert
they're constantly
altogether,
adding stuff, which is great, and it's one of the reasons I love the game.
Well, the interesting thing about the Al-Kharid update was that it didn't actually move any buildings. The buildings are actually in the same place that they were before. There's just a big wall around it, and they've just spiced it up.
Yeah.
So basically,
they did actually they did move. I think they moved the entire city down, because the back of the palace is way closer to Shantae Pass than it used to be.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Maybe they just extended it.
No, I think they just expanded the size of everything, and while they expanded the size of it, they kept the space between the buildings, but they got closer to every other thing in the area.
They also added a snake charmer.
Just like in Palma Beach. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, anybody want to rant about the fact that they lore failed with the Western lands? Anyone? Yeah, I don't actually.
Oh, you mean how it gets
you said
there?
it was around Eagles Peak is how you get there?
Well, just imagine, like, if you're going all the way past Eagles Peak, you could just go past the mountain.
I would be the first to accidentally wander.
That's like what you do whenever you're not 60 floors down. You just kind of wander around. We all know it's true.
I tried stealing today, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Or did they acknowledge that it was an accident?
Yeah, they kind of keep it like that.
Yeah,
they did.
Looking into it.
They were saying with the way that you can get into all these places without the appropriate quests now, saying how long to the forest, which I'm going to try and pronounce.
Before they don't.
Right. So that's interesting there. It's good that they've acknowledged it and they said that they're going to look into it. I don't think there's anything else with regards to this update. Huh? Oh, hidden rewards. Go.
The hidden rewards.
I have not done them, so this is up to all you guys.
I haven't done them either.
They've added 6 new items after the quest.
That's actually, I think it's really, really cool because it's actually like an item that you can have that corresponds to something, like the gods, basically.
Like I was allowed to find out by myself just what they were and where to get them.
Yeah, I just gave you some hints.
Yeah, it said
Does everyone know where they are?
The only ones I need to help with were the one that required agility. The other the other 4 I found by myself.
I picked up 4 of them. I just don't have bank space for this. I'm just really good at filling my bank. Everything.
I'm still waiting for them to add the bank boosters to the loyalty shop.
Did they say they were going to do it? And
they said they'll do that this month.
You mean October?
This month, yeah.
Interesting.
No, like September.
Oh.
They said in a few weeks' time would do it.
Well, that might very well be.
And that was at the start of the month.
Next week.
So.
Because a few weeks could be anything between like 3 and 10, I'd say. And 10 is on the high end.
I guess.
Remember, we're talking about Jagex here. It's going to be at least 10.
That's true.
But, yeah.
Anyway, should we move on?
Okay. Next up, I suppose, will be... Actually, no. Next up was... Huh?
What were you going to say, Robo?
Was it relevant to Al-Kharid, or was it relevant to something else?
Go on, Gordon.
Well, it's about the quest.
Yeah, then go.
Like, just some things I noticed I liked. And how the lore, like how Ozan kept calling Leela a princess and all. I just think that's kind of interesting because it's actually kind of accurate if she turns out to be the what do you call it? Descendant.
Oh yeah, because that was discussed in.
See, did we know this before?
Wasn't it?
It wasn't actually directly said. There's still speculation, but it's becoming pretty obvious because there's so many times it's referenced throughout the series. With one of the descendants named Osmundton, and with Osmond asking Simon Templeton about bloodline and stuff. And
Another
then
thing I'd like to say is, are they planning on retconning the entire Desert series?
Mod Strally said he'd prefer to work on future quests. Like, right now he has an idea to make a sister quest to Do No Evil, but about Krondus, because we don't have much about Krondus right now.
Yeah, I think we all are.
I'm
That'd
looking
be
forward
interesting
to
to
that.
see. Yeah.
The crocodile one.
And one of the ideas for the quest name he has is Cry Me a River.
Okay, so that's good.
But
and that's I guess that, well, it doesn't really lead us into anything. It's kind of disjointed the way we've got this set up, but the weird thing is that it's actually makes more sense the way that I have it written, I think. Just because it's going more chronologically than anything. Anyways, next topic of discussion is going to be combat beta, what little we all have to say about it, and especially with regards to the live stream, which had so many derps who hadn't been in the freaking beta since like day one. Oh my god, I wanted to punch them.
Yeah. Someone who's logged into beta,
Can you
total
put skilling
I
stuff
think
on the
it's-
action bar?
stay out.
Yes, you can put skilling stuff on the action bar.
Yeah.
Duh. God. Anyways.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of why I avoided most of it, because I haven't been on it for the past month and a half. So, stuff I would have to say would probably have no relevance because it probably already changed.
No, still waiting on that outfit. Huh.
Yeah, I haven't
Pieces that we
meant
scientists
to
aren't
get on for
receiving.
the first
Yeah.
one, and then after I missed the first one, I was like, screw it, I'm done with this. And then I took a break.
No, they've been adding. No, they've been adding like
Yeah, I know.
like you can go into the game, and if you
Yeah, I
miss
know
a
they
piece,
added.
you
There's
can
one,
re-get it.
Isn't the Slayer thing
And
this
you
week
miss those,
one of those where you have to, if you complete a full Slayer task or something, you get another piece?
You start and complete.
Yeah.
Walter brings up a good point about the threshold change. Like now, like the thresholds
That
take
makes so much
adrenaline
more
away from you
sense.
instead of gain adrenaline,
Like, it
which
really...
is actually,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you can't just spam attacks
Yeah,
and then just
I mean,
spam
and
thresholds. Like you have to
do
time it wisely.
significant- I know for Mage, unless they've dramatically changed it, which they probably have, like the thresholds did serious damage. Like that was like the main damage dealing attacks were threshold attacks, and the fact that you could then proceed to build them up further into the ultimates, which actually weren't worth anything, was just, it just felt weird. That was just awkward. And yeah, that Walter also says the problem is ultimates are still useless, and yeah, it's an interesting problem.
Yeah, the defense ultimate,
Which
that's
one?
pretty
What
useful.
is that? Is that the one
Yeah,
that?
the
Yeah.
defensive one is useful.
Overpowered much.
Yeah.
Heals
So-
Rejuvenate.
I know I
It
use
just
that in,
spam heals
like,
you,
few
basically.
dungeons
Yes.
that I've done on the
Oh.
beta server. I love that thing, but yeah.
It is completely overpowered. Like,
Pretty much, you don't need food.
Well, or a mage.
Well, unless you're Lime.
But I can rant about mage
Yeah.
dungeoneering all day long. Oh shit, falling over. Okay. I'm in for any of you who know what it is, I'm in a Papasan chair right now, and it is not exactly stable on its base. And I'm like rocking back and forth. Ow, god damn it. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so okay, and
Walter
one thing
brings
they
up a
better
good point.
add. Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm sick of these like
Well, they have
like
wands,
two-handed staffs because it's like, okay, well, my only
and
option now is to
crossbows,
mage dragon,
which are both
yeah, wands, but
one-handed. So,
still.
but I think he's talking about the anti-dragon shields that add mage or range attack bonus.
Now, it's funny,
Oh,
guys.
yeah, that's
You're talking about it, but you haven't actually stated the question.
Oh,
so
sorry.
anyone listening would
Good
be
catch.
totally confused what you're talking
Walter
about.
said, yeah,
Dragon
it's
shields for
been
mage and
mentioned.
range.
The one thing that they better add is anti-dragon shields for mage
Oh, yeah.
and range. And he's saying that all of the anti-dragon shields now are melee shields, so you lose accuracy if you are wearing them as a mage or ranger. And granted, like, some high-level derp is going to say, but anti-dragon potion or whatever it's called, anti-fire potion or super anti-fire. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I'll use
a
that.
super anti-fire.
But not everybody has
But what
that.
if I'm free to play
But not
and want to
everybody
do?
has whatever
What
it
if I'm
is,
free
like
to play and want to do Dragon Slayer?
84 herb lore, 80. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. There
85.
you go.
I don't have that.
And yeah, metal dragons are weak to mage. So yeah.
Yeah, that was kind
Yeah,
of my
that's-
point
yeah,
that I
that's
failed at bringing up, but yeah.
And see, with the release of Dragonbane bolts, it would only make sense for rangers to have a Dragonfire shield for them. But then you got to include how would they have it? Like, what's a shield for rangers? What's a shield for mages? I know that they have a buckler for Armadillo. So
Maybe.
would it be like a
And
Dragonfire buckler?
I could see for
Or
mages,
they
you
could
could do
just
something like an
just make
elemental
it all
shield.
around.
Because
Be right back.
although those aren't explicitly mage shields,
Yeah.
they're basically that. I mean, that's essentially what it is. They're magical shields.
They're
they-
magical in essence.
Yeah.
Maybe they could just do away with the shield altogether and make
Yeah, but what if you
anti-dragon
don't
fire
have
an
that
ability.
available? Like, that would be... I don't know. That might be... I don't know about that.
Like regardless of any
Yeah.
option, it's
I mean,
still it still could
think-
turn out
I think that a
exclusive.
shield is the best way to
So-
go about
Yeah.
it. Because, like, the ability... If you make it an ability, then... If you mess up with the ability once, then you just die. If you don't have... I mean, yeah, that's the problem there. If they just remove the fire, then that, like... All dragons are derpy now. They're not dragons, they're just giant lizards.
Yeah, it's
Well-
just like, oh look, a winged lizard. Yeah.
What if they just kept the shield as is and just removed the negative attack
Yeah.
bonuses for
Yeah, that would probably
magic
be
and
the
range and just
easiest
make it an all-round
fix.
shield?
But we have to
Exactly.
make
That'd be
things
an easier
difficult here.
fix.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
scryers.
Yeah, because it's the EOC and it's Jagex, so we have to make it as
Void
difficult
shield,
as possible.
Yeah. The void deflector, I guess, is what it is, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Something else I don't have that I
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
should. Anyways, okay, anybody else got anything to mention about Evolution of Combat or the live stream thereof? Alright. Next up,
Nope.
Not really.
I want to talk about the.
well,
I want to talk about the most recent.
we're
live
getting
stream.
there. We're getting there. Hold on.
We'll
Hold your horses.
get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
It's
no.
action-packed.
Anyways,
Unicorn.
next up is Botany Bay and the live stream for bots. And I would have said so much about this today that differently had they not addressed this specifically in the live stream today that we will talk about a little bit later, where they said that the bot watch was not a nuke, and it is where they start in a focused area and they were going to expand it. And in one of their expansions, they derped and banned 40,000 legitimate players.
Yeah, it's like anybody who was gaining XP
Yeah,
at a
that
given
was-
time was immediately banned.
Well,
you could just ask
I mean,
Yeah.
about
Cryptic
that.
got banned.
Oh my
wasn't
got banned,
one of our
Alex
clan
got
members,
banned.
Alex Arias?
Jublex got banned, didn't he?
Yeah.
Grar.
Rar.
Jublets
What?
got banned, yes.
Ouch.
Some got banned for using lodestones? Oh my god.
Ouch.
What Walter just said.
No. Here's what's funny. I saw a video of some people getting banned that were in Botany Bay watching bots get
Well
banned.
done, Jagex. Well done.
That's ironic.
Yes, that does deserve a round of
Yes.
applause.
Well, speaking of Botany Bay, I've heard that they only do bots every 2 hours. Is that just because of the frequency, or is it
depends on-
pre-programmed?
It
No.
depends on the world, I think, because in World 3 they had
Yeah.
one
Yeah, I was
like
watching
every
World
minute
2
to
and it
5
was
minutes
every-
kind of.
Just
Same
every
with
couple
World
minutes.
2.
I think they were doing...
Okay.
They were... I don't know. It was... it's hard to say because they didn't do a universal nuke, and it's just kind of from what they said in the podcast there, or in the live stream or whatever you want to call it, that is going to be a centralized. They're starting it in some of the high areas, and then pulsing out from there. I know I visited Sorceress's Garden, which is the hangout for many of us in this channel. Many of us knew how to trap the bots there. You know, Gina, Robo, I think we taught Rubik, and I think
I did. No,
yeah,
I knew
Robo
how. I know how to do it.
accidentally
Robo actually
created
one of our traps.
one of the best ones too. Robo created the Type 3 trap that we call Type 3,
the
where
one that
it
traps.
moves one of the elementals and traps it, so that there's 2 elementals in one little area. But it was by far the hardest to set up, but it was definitely one of the most effective.
Yeah.
Actually, Type 2
Well, I've done that
No,
plenty
it's
of
not the
times, I
hardest.
haven't
It's
Actually, Type
I
2
would
was the
actually
hardest,
consider
'cause that
one of
took
the easier
so
ones.
much.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Now there's type 2 is definitely the hardest.
You used to be able to
Type
trap
2
them
is
with
pretty
a
simple.
clamp.
But I guess since there's no bots to trap right now.
Yeah.
You know those seeds that you plant, like a plant that says
Yeah.
northwest, those
they've
kind of
got
plants
smarter.
that used to be able
though.
to
And
trap
smarter.
bots.
But I think,
And
but yeah,
that's
as I was
new.
saying, like I logged into the Sorcerer's
Yeah.
Garden and there was nobody there. I actually have a screenshot of it, and it was just completely empty. And I think that's one of the first places they hit.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
did
not
see
sure on that, and I could have just been lucky to log in there,
And,
or not log in there, but lucky to go there too soon after the update. But there was nobody there at all, so.
And what I want to say
Once
also
I
is
was
that
not dreading having to teleport
The-
using the brute.
what I want to say also is that the reason why Botany Bay isn't so crowded at the moment is because they permanently ban gold farmer bots automatically, and that's what you see in Botany Bay right now. However, other people use bots for other things.
Yeah, and
Those
that's-
will
yeah,
get
that's
2
what I'm-
warnings before
yeah.
they get perm banned.
And that's something else that
And-
I also kind of want to address is like people raging at this update and being like, "There's no bots here. There's no bots being banned." There's like a 2-week window where they aren't going to be perma banned. There's the warning, and then there's the second warning, and then the perma ban. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God.
Well, I'm glad the permaban is actually
Bot,
back
you
in.
have no business playing the game.
Yeah,
You
seriously.
clearly don't give a damn about your account, and like you have no right to
Mhm.
to have a second chance. You just don't.
Complain.
Well, I mean, Cryptic. That was because Cryptic says I got a permaban and I didn't bot. Well,
Well,
that was
yeah, that
because you
like
you were a victim of a Jagex derp. Yeah.
Of like half the population gets banned.
And
For
in the
legit
live
players.
stream, I'm gonna have to agree with Jags on this. In the live stream, they do say that some players do some things which the botch watch will catch, but it isn't really considered botting or like at all. But it'll catch it and it can ban you, and
Yeah.
they want to give you a warning to just tell you that
Yeah.
that's not something
And
you
if-
want to do. But they can't
and if
address every
somebody
single
does-
issue like that. Yeah.
It's slightly annoying though.
Like DG Sweeper.
Well,
I don't know, I wonder if that affects
Yeah,
DG
I
Sweeper and stuff like that.
does DG Sweeper
know.
set it off?
No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it just could, because it kind of uses it.
Well, I guess I'll be
This
one
is
of the
why
first to
you
know.
don't do that crap. Anyways, yeah.
Don't
So
get banned,
we
Gina.
have that, and then that's going to be expanded. Is there anything else we want to mention about the live stream or any of that other stuff with regards to bots and the incoming obliteration? Other than I will finally have my money from 99 Rune Crafting 6 months after I was done with it.
Well,
Just like to
There
say
was-
that.
Ooh,
there was
yeah,
a topic that
that's
they
right.
did bring up was mouse
with
keys.
the double clicking.
Oh,
What
right,
did
yeah.
what did they ended up coming What did they end up
Yeah.
saying about that? I can't really remember. Yeah, I do too. I think they were just like...
I don't remember. I just remember being mentioned or something like that.
They didn't discuss much on it. They said that, what I said earlier, where if you are caught botting, you'll get a warning, but they aren't going to clarify what's what because they can't really define what you're doing and everything you.
But how's
are
that
able
relevant
to
to
Well,
mouse
I know
keys?
that they actually, yeah, I do
Is it
know
just
that
like, oh,
they
you use
said
mouse keys,
that
get off our game?
if you're using mouse
No.
keys for single clicking, there's no issues whatsoever because it's just like you're using a normal mouse. You're just using keys to move your mouse around, and that's completely legitimate. And that makes skilling so much easier, which I wish I could use it.
Mhm.
I don't have a numpad, but yes.
But if you give like
that's
one
what the
input
question
and you
was.
get multiple
I can't remember
outputs,
what
that could set
I think
it
they
off.
just said
Oh.
don't do it, just to make sure.
I see what
mouse
Cryptic's
keys
saying.
aren't
Mouse
a
keys are a
though.
macro.
It's
I
just
think that's what they were hinting
Yeah, it's
at.
that. It can be in the
Okay.
case of a double click. Yes, in that case, yes.
Or can be.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And I think they were just like, don't use that double click function. There's really actually no use for it aside from prayer spamming, but even then, like, it takes a second for it to register, so the double...
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
there is a big use for it.
Oh,
It's
that's
hierarchy.
true.
If you set it up right, you instead of pressing 5
Oh,
twice,
that's true.
you just
Okay,
press the
well,
plus button and it does
hierarchy
the
is
thing.
easy enough as it is. You just
Okay.
go watch a video and
I can
just
see that then.
AFK click, so...
Well, like, and with
they
Evolution
mentioned
Combat,
that as
it'll
well,
be
that
made easier,
was
so you won't
because of the
have
action
to
bar.
do that.
Okay, that's good to mention. I think that exhausts that
Mhm.
topic, though. Moving on to other stuff nobody really cares about, except for Rubik, because a lot of it's clan stuff. So you have the clan, or not a lot, but first thing is the clan cup. Rubik, go. Nope.
The slave master.
I've refreshed it like 15
You didn't
times.
refresh the page, did you?
I refreshed it.
I removed the
Oh, you
clan
did?
cup.
Okay. Well, apparently there's some clan
I
cup
removed the
thing.
clan cup thing. So yeah.
Yes,
Okay, good. Then
there's
let's
some clan cup
throw
thing
out.
that We're not going to talk
It
about
happened,
it because
that's
it's
all.
irrelevant. Jag, which is, I mean, it's a nice thought, but I personally don't see it relevant.
It seems good on
Yeah.
paper, but using it, it's just like, what's the point? Kind of.
Well,
It depends on your
we're
situation,
also-
I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a new idea.
I know Blizzard's-
Because Google has a Google Authenticator, which gives you a unique password. Blizzard does it too. You're right.
I've noticed that on YouTube.
I know
as well.
Facebook has a send you a text message every time you log in from a new device, and you type in a code, gives you temporary access. It's not a new idea. The problem that I have with Jag, and the reason why I don't use it, is because of the questions that they give. I don't even have answers for half the questions that they've given, and there's no custom answer that you can ask.
Yeah.
So for some of the other recovery questions in the past for other accounts, I've been able to put in my custom question that I want, that only I would know. However, I can't do that. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not using Jag because of it.
But if they would change it, you would use it, right?
Probably, because I've been talking with a few people, and it's a trade-off. Do you want super security or convenience? If you have to spend 3 minutes
That's
every time you preparing to log in before you log in, is it really worth it?
Well, the thing for me is that I'm always on the same IP, and I maybe change. I go to it, log in on a different computer, maybe
now that I'm
once
back
a month at
school,
most.
now
So
that I'm back at
it
home,
honestly won't
I was
affect
at
me too
school
much.
for the last month, which is part of the reason I was having internet issues. But since I decided that wasn't going to work and I came back home, I am going to pretty much be exclusively on the same location as well, so it would probably be useful for me. But the recovery questions are an issue. Alright, anyways.
Yeah.
Alright,
Hey
see you
guys,
soon.
I gotta head off. So
All right.
Oh, all
talk
right.
to you guys later. It's been
All right.
fun.
Next
See you
up,
later.
it would
So,
be
have
the
fun.
human
Bye.
base model.
Bye.
Okay, I have a funny picture. It's a
Yeah,
screen cap that Gerard took of a
They
YouTube
changed
video.
that with the Godward update.
On one hand, I don't know what they were thinking. On the other hand, I understand why they updated in the live game, because as soon as I got it, the thing in the beta where there was change, I was like, oh god, that looks terrible. And I understand why they updated in the real game because of what Mod Chris L said in the EOC discussion, where it keeps their graphics team from having to do 2 sets of animations, which would suck. Because one set of animations is bad enough. But 2 for every update? Oh god. I don't blame them at all, but I do blame them for not addressing this problem before it hit live. Cryptic says, do your boobs hang low?
Right.
Thank you, Cryptic. Were you going to be posting? Yeah, males look like Jacob from Twilight. Yeah, it's just, it's bad. I mean, I hate the female avatar.
Don't even bring that
with
up.
a passion. I think everybody with a female avatar hates it, and
I hate it too.
most of the people
So
with
bad.
male avatars. Oh god. The
female avatars look like blow-up dolls.
It's like what?
Disgusting.
Why? Who thought that was a bad idea? Who thought that was a good idea?
And like
They
stick arms.
probably let this make it to life.
Yeah.
It's just like
Pretty much what you said there.
Like there was some serious
Who let
collective
this happen?
derping going on when they okayed that, but yeah, male faces are pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, like my mouth is always moving. What is wrong with this?
Yeah.
And then the sitting should be bad too.
Like
They
for that
slightly
thing.
fixed
It's just like, what were you thinking, Jagex? What? Why that of all things? And I get that they had the arms.
Yeah.
They had the kind of proportions set up for the beta where there were different animations, and that's fine. But the faces are just terrible. Anyways.
Ugh.
I know.
Vomit
right?
worthy.
Every update, I hope it's gonna be the one.
Oh
where
yeah,
they
I
fix
was actually about to mention that they changed.
I hope they fix my hat with that too.
aka the Dark Cavalier.
Oh yeah.
And it's just it.
Yeah.
It apparently.
I noticed that when I went to
bug
go buy
reports
it.
You put in Robo, like 2, 3.
I put in one. I told you
God
and
damn it,
Gina to
Gina.
put in one, and Stanton put in one.
Yeah, I haven't actually sent one in yet. I will.
Oh,
I know. I remember when I had issues with my
Yeah,
Ringmaster
that's
hat
something
where
only you use.
it would glitch through
Well, that's
hair
the
and
grouping
everything.
Anyways, yeah. The
Yep.
lore noob hat
Favorite
has
hat.
been derpified, which is unfortunate. Did they?
the sad thing is, they did that because of me.
Oh. good.
Yeah, because I was the one who sent in the bug report in the first place when it used to be just a tan Cavalier. They partially fixed it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's still half tan.
Yeah, they just forgot to
Interesting. But yeah.
colorize the rest of
Okay.
it.
So, well done, Robo. Yeah.
I get that they tried to make it look like a forum
They've only
avatar
had
when you
years.
failed.
Yes, Walter. They have only had years to fix them.
Yeah.
It took him 5 months to fix my Ringmaster
Okay.
hat.
Anyways. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Now for the good stuff.
Moving on.
Just a
Exactly.
few. Oh, ow! Crap! Falling. Okay. Just
Earlier
a few minutes
today-
ago, I guess it ended about 2.5 hours ago. We had
Now
a
for-
future update live stream,
Nice.
which had a lot of stuff for us to chew on.
Epicness.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was basically
Yeah.
a nuke of epicness.
In ways, yes.
Well, they brought info for
Tutorial
things that we had
Island.
questions on,
Finally
and they
put to
answered questions
rest.
that they've never answered questions on before.
From Trevor
I don't know
Oh,
thanks,
about
Lauren.
floor 61.
They didn't answer us about
Yeah,
the dungeon. Yeah.
No.
They
Oh, they
nailed
Nobody
it.
didn't.
cares.
They didn't.
First
Yeah.
things first, they mentioned horses.
RuneScape 3, which we should immediately talk about
It
here.
appears that
Because this would be a gigantic
Yes.
update, probably akin to EOC, with. Well, I mean, it's akin to it. It's as big as EOC.
It's not
For moments-
EOC. Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
excuse
Yeah.
me.
It's
What,
like
Gina?
the EOC in that everyone will hate on it on the forums.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, never mind.
Fortunately, just as we're getting to the
Well,
good stuff, I have to go.
Gina, anything you have to
All
say?
right.
You want to say real quick
Womp,
about
Hi,
womp,
Gina.
womp.
Go. There you go. You heard it here first.
Rotten 2, January
No,
4th.
but you didn't say it on
Yep.
the podcast.
Wait, I said that.
Actually, I do think Robo
Good
said
fight.
it first. But
Actually, I said it first
I
time.
got damned.
I don't know where that comes
Robo
from.
Robo and me were the ones that started the whole January.
I have
4th
picked-
thing.
Yeah,
Where?
No, that we started it. Robo and I.
yeah. It was because of the
Oh.
planets were aligning on January 4th, 2010 or something. And so we thought, since Ritual of the Maja was about the planets
It
aligning, we
would have been
thought
epic, yeah.
Jagex timed it
But
with
yeah,
that.
okay, so we have
Yeah.
That
so
would've
we have
been cool,
RuneScape
but
3,
no.
from what Rubik's little write-up has, it says massive god additions and features that will provide multiple benefits depending on choices you make in game. And we heard more about this later on, where there is going to be some kind of where you pick sides in god arguments, quests, something along those lines. Yes, so much dialogue we'll have to wait months to get. But yeah, this seems really interesting. It's a lot of people have
Yeah.
requested, suggested, whatever you want to call it, this kind of thing, because the god discussions can get really heated, at least in our clan, because we're all lore noobs. But yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's nice that you can actually choose a side now, but I wonder how that will work out with the rest of the game because, well,
like
one quest you might be helping
do
Zamorakins, the next
Haziel's
quest you're
cult
helping Zeros come
one
back,
day,
so,
and then next day
Yeah.
you do templates and Distan, and like, what? What? and you're a Gothixian at heart, so it's like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
Gothics would make the most sense because he just balances stuff out, and like you could explain a player doing stuff on other sides because they need help. But if you're like a pure
It's like you're
Ceradonius,
Um,
putting out Zerosians and Zamorakins, it doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
I'm not gonna lie.
the easiest way out is just to be
I will
unaffiliated.
draw my line at being Zerosian.
Just be on the
But
line.
anyways,
That's the easiest way out.
As apparently RuneScape will be containing Spanish servers. I don't think that's applicable to any of us. Dutch and other languages, yeah, I saw that question. They said no current plans for Dutch. I don't think that applies to any of us in this call specifically, but I think I know it pertains to a few people in the
No, it does
other
not.
chat, as well as I don't know where. Well, but there's quite a few people that are Dutch in the clan, so that would be pertinent to them.
Yeah.
Let's see here, new customizable player interface.
They did briefly touch on this where like
Yeah,
you may
that'd
be able to
nice.
customize
I've
it and
actually
move stuff
never
around
been in
to
a game where
your
that's
liking.
possible. So we'll see how they decide to do that. I think that wasn't that one of the things that they were like talking about. That's like way down the line though. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It is a thought,
isn't
and
set in
that's-
stone
that's an
as if they're
interesting one.
going to do it, but
huge update
it
for
is the
Wilderness.
thought.
It needs it badly. It is completely dead at this point. I mean, yeah, there's dragon bots. That I wouldn't call that. Huh?
Wasn't it supposed
Well,
to be
I mean, you know what I mean.
I wouldn't
Burbo,
call
though.
that
I mean,
a
it's
lie.
dead as in
I'd call
dead
it
content.
zombieism.
technically
Because-
supposed to?
Unless you have a
Yeah.
Green Dragon Slayer task, I mean,
was just joking.
or you're trying to PvP, but PvPing is like you don't just
Or
go
you're trying
there
to
randomly
PvP.
anymore.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
PvP is centered around Edgeville and maybe the Revenant
Yeah, I mean,
dungeon,
and then
that's
even
about it.
now you have the
I think
Crucible,
it'd be
which
fun to
gives you
next to that sword.
what they talked about in this past live stream as being kind of the replacement for the anti-PJing issue, which they I think they said that they would bring to a player vote, which I mean I'm not going to vote in that because it's irrelevant to me. I don't do any PvPing whatsoever. But I mean,
Why does there need to be a vote for PJing? Obviously,
I
everyone's
don't
gone,
know. That seems interesting,
except for
but
PJers.
but the Wilderness is getting a huge update with unique features and resources. It's that uniqueness that I've mentioned that in the past in passing conversations with I don't even know who. Just like they need to do something that's Wilderness exclusive. Like the Bloodwood tree was an interesting start. Those trees that nobody uses, I don't think, for backramital bolts. But there's so many trees outside of the
Yeah.
Wilderness that I don't think it's worth it to go in the Wilderness to get that. Yeah, I know there's one in Darkmire.
Yeah, it's like
There's
just
one in
do a quest
Edgeville.
and then you
There's
automatically
one
have the
in-
tree access.
I
And if
Yeah.
people who already had the
Or
quest
other
cape,
one.
then
Soul Wars, there's another one. I
it's
mentioned
in-
Darkmire.
Penguin.
Darkmire,
Yeah, Darkmire, that's what it
Soul
Yeah,
was.
and then-
Wars. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So,
You
There's
can't use
the
the one in
Wilderness.
you can't use the one in Edgeville. You only can use the one in the Soul Wars.
You still need
Yeah,
to talk to that lady to
Yeah.
I mean,
trade
still,
to get
it's
the
like
other parts of the
that
bolts.
the Bloodwood trees are just it's not useful for them to be in the Wilderness when there's other places they could be. And there's a lot of stuff that they could do with these kind of reworks for high level stuff, where you could actually you could kind of set the price by putting it in the Wilderness and having it be in a really contentious area, which would make it rare because there would only
Yeah.
be certain
Yeah.
people that would actually want to go there and do that, and maybe have some other things. And it would be interesting what they can do
Maybe
with
we'll
that.
have a mafia.
And I'm looking forward to that because I'd like to use the Wilderness, but yeah,
And here's something I wanted to see them do: use the northern part of the Wilderness and like all the
You mean
features
the,
up there that
like
they've
the-
never put into anything,
Pirates
and actually
Cove
use it
and-
for something.
yeah.
And then you have the Wilderness
The only
volcano.
use for the
that's
Wilderness
northeast.
volcano was to destroy the ring.
I
kinda-
wanted to see them
Bridge.
pretty used to all that.
But you can't even do that anymore.
Yep. Previously, there's a nice.
And then
hiding
there's
place.
a
Yeah.
ghost ship up there, like before they did the graphical update, and
I
it
thought
looked
they
really
removed it
cool.
too.
There's still a ghost ship up there.
It is. I thought they
I mean,
removed it.
treasure trails.
Now
I
you can
mean, like,
actually walk.
So
on
yeah,
it.
it really is. The
That's
Mage
cool.
Cape, the ads, and penguins are like the only reason that non-PvPers go into the Wilderness, and the occasional, and if you're a low-level Slayer, green dragons. Like, there's no reason for going into the Wilderness for the rest of us. At least as of now, it's too risky. It's too
Mhm.
annoying. There's no banks, etc. So it is a question of like, what will make it worth it? What will people do to risk themselves to go into the Wilderness? And I feel like it would be, something they could do is tie it in with the new skills that are coming out. What was it? The one at the beginning of 2013 is the first one, and that they said that there are going to be two new skills, one with
Yes.
yeah.
One's a production skill, one's a gathering skill.
If that
Oh,
happened,
yeah.
I could definitely see
could
it
see
now.
that.
There'd be like a mafia in the Wilderness. People paying for protection.
I can see that. I think it happened before.
So I'm going
like
to
way back
preempt
when.
the inevitable
Well,
sailing
kind of is more
suggestion.
voluntary.
What do you think
True.
what do you think the skills are going to be?
Oh boy, yeah.
This one I have no idea about, to be honest. It's going to be a gathering skill and production skill, not exactly like mining and smithing, but something different is what they said.
I think it might be like a
It's something
fantasy-based
that has
skill, like
no
runecrafting,
real-world,
something
like,
that doesn't
real-world
exist already.
equivalent. Is that what you're suggesting?
Like,
That's true, because at this point
yeah,
they've
pretty
much
'cause,
exhausted.
like, well, what else could there be? I can't really think of much.
No.
I mean, to back up Robo, to find out what the new skills were, I actually went to this website to find out what medieval traits there were. The only one that isn't in RuneScape is apparently this profession where you sit on a bench with beer on it.
No.
Yeah, that's not going to be it.
They don't seem related to each other either if they're coming out at separate times.
Well, no,
Actually,
no, they are related to each other, though. Because what he said earlier in the RuneShark podcast was that they want the gathering skill to be introduced first so that you can collect all these
that's
resources, so when the
definitely- I
production
remember
skill does come out,
that line
you're able to do it
exactly.
right away.
But
Oh,
what
I
would you
see.
do with said resources in the
Yeah,
meantime? Like,
what?
what? Like, there has to be a use for them. Do I
You
need to
thought,
kick
child,
Ron
I mean,
from the
trade them for
podcast?
spins.
Just ignore him. Anyways,
Couldn't you collect
yeah.
charms
So I mean,
for
like, what would you
conversions?
do with them? Like, would they?
Oh.
If the skill that they were used for is introduced later, like, would they find? I don't know. That seems odd. And they said it wasn't like anything in the game, right?
Like if it was
I kind of like the idea.
well, if it was a situation like say they released like mining and then they released smithing later.
Okay, so the video
Holy
derped,
shit.
and
Yep, that's it.
we lost pretty much. Well, actually, we lost a substantial amount of stuff where we talked about the new skill, where we actually didn't say anything about the new skill. We were just kind of randomly speculating. And yeah, so we're gonna just finish up with the new skill and say, yeah, we don't know anything about it, but there's gonna be a gatherer skill that comes out at the beginning of 2013, and a production skill that comes out in the end of 2013, and that's what we know, and we're gonna move on. Along the same line, we have skill revamps that were talked about in the podcast. When the combat is done, summoning will be looked at, because that seriously needs a boost after the way that things have changed. And
I never liked summoning.
you'd like
I have to
summoning?
agree with him.
What do you mean?
I never, ever, ever liked summoning.
Oh, I love
I
summoning.
absolutely
That's
feel
why-
something.
That's
love
why
summoning.
it needs an update.
I love summoning
Well,
so much.
if you look at the skill, to be honest, is pouch making.
Yeah, the skill sucks as itself.
Charm gathering. It's like charm gathering, dumping
pouch
money
making.
into a black hole of never getting it back, depending on the methods that you use. Yeah, and then
yeah.
just making pouches.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there is no other method other than making pouches, which is kind of dumb. Like, the training itself is stupid for summoning. It's just terrible. But the
Or you
use is,
could be lime
if you
and
know
go
how to
penguin
use
earring.
the things, you can make money off of it. But most people don't know how to use the things, nor do they care to learn how to use the things, etc. So, you know, it is, yeah, the summoning needs, and then combat summoning needs a serious rework now, let alone
Yes, please.
After the EOC where everything has changed about combat. Like, summoning in combat now is the most awkward thing ever. Like, legitimately the most awkward thing ever.
Just familiars just don't seem smart.
They're so stupid. Like, oh my god. I'm sure that
It's like there's
anybody who has done Nomad and used the pillaring technique knows the troubles of summoning
Yeah.
combat.
In the AI's defense, there is a substantial portion of the RuneScape playing population that is dumber than the AI.
Well, This is true.
Yeah,
This is entirely true. However, that doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, I mean, even if in like temple trekking, like mostly, I think the familiar is gonna help, and it's like, okay, there's enemies everywhere. What's it gonna do? Follow me. Yay! Don't do anything until I tell it to.
It's got this.
Derp.
Oh my god. Yeah, summoning seriously needs some help. And while I love the utility of all the familiars now, there has to be some way of making that a viable way of training the skill of, like, people can get to 99 summoning now and have never actually summoned anything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a really wonky situation that you've got, and it's like, huh? But, I mean, it is what it is right now, and they're going to be looking at it, and Mark has mentioned this several times in the last 6 months, that that's the next thing they're going to look at. So,
I'm kind of worried about it, actually.
Runecrafting.
You're worried about it? How?
Yeah, only the sole reason is because they're probably going to have Mod Wraith do that. Because I actually think they said Mod Wraith is going to be doing that.
Why does that
which means
cause...
it's just not going to be working on
Nomad
2.
2. Yeah, Nomad 2 would come out.
Oh.
He had said earlier that he wanted to work on
2014.
Nomads right after combat rework, but if he's getting put on Evolution of Summoning, then, well, I guess it pushes it back.
But if
Evolution of Combat comes November, then that means
they're
going to be working on it.
Is there a new date for combat rework? November?
It's either November or December.
Okay.
I'm going to say December, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. I'd pick the later of the two.
I think that it's probably going to get into the game by November of 2069.
Oh, that too. I think that is an accurate assumption.
Yeah, that'll fix it way before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
The game will be gone before it gets to that time.
Before no evolution of combat, before the game dies. Anyways, but yeah, so and they also mentioned agility, and they mentioned agility and rune crafting. And I mentioned this.
Well, rune crafting and other ammunition skills such as
fletching. Yeah, and while I love rune crafting, and I think I may have mentioned this earlier, I'm not entirely sure if this part got deleted or not. But like the rune spanning update kind of pisses me off. Anyways, moving along from that, but the actual ammunition part of rune crafting is weird. Because it is true that what Mark said, like, mages don't make their own runes. There's no reason for them to make their own runes.
It takes too long. That's the whole point.
With the exception of Armadillo runes, which take like 5 minutes to make more than you'll ever need, but that's one case. Like, the current output of runes is way lower than mages use in a similar amount of time. So... especially with regards to like natures and elemental runes are really bad with that.
Yeah.
Like it's come to a point where you can get your runes faster killing monsters that drop them rather than actually rune crafting.
Yep, that's entirely true. And
I feel like the EOC is trying to fix that by changing around what runes you need for each spell, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Well, that's why they said that they would look into this, and the fletching is the same way, because I mean nobody makes their own arrows. You get 99 fletching, then you're like, screw this crap. I'm done. Like, why would I need to do this?
Yeah, it's like I don't make my own broad bolts. I just buy them.
Yeah, because it's way more.
Screw buying the ability.
Yeah. Well, I bought the ability, but
either way, still.
Yeah, it is the same thing. And then the agility thing, where they said that they would kind of fundamentally change agility, especially the training methods and its benefits. Like they would remove the run energy thing from agility, which I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's just...
It'll be...
I hope
that the Jayak solution is not completely remove run energy, because that would just suck.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Just sprint everywhere you go. Screw logic. Yay.
Yeah, that would be kind of dumb, like legitimately.
What was it? Yeah. 2 or 3 years ago, they made it so run energy works a lot better.
Well, that was 2 or 3 years ago.
Was that to update it to its current system, or is that? a temporary thing.
Well, they fixed it so like it used to be where you run out of energy. Basically, like you could run from Rock to maybe it's just south of the farm, that's south of Rock, and you would have 0 energy, and that's how quickly it would go. So they made it so you could run longer for a longer period of time.
But is that how it's like now, or was that just?
That's how it is right now.
Yeah, that's
yes.
what I was asking. Like, I figured that it was kind of dumb, and that sounds like they just added the agility thing to it, because that's about how far you could run with level 1 agility in free to play. Because the difference is really noticeable after going and visiting free to play a couple times. Like, I can't run anywhere without running out of energy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. But yeah, okay, so then of course training methods, the first thing I thought of was treadmill span. Because
Yep.
that's just the first thing I could think of. Like, AFK agility training sounds so nice for somebody who absolutely despises agility like me.
So on like the bike and the blast furnace.
Kind of have that. Do any of you remember the blast furnace?
I love the
in
blast
Telegram?
furnace, and I love that
Yeah,
bike.
it has that bike
But
thing.
it's like 10k XP an
Yeah.
hour. Trust me, I've
And you
lived on
don't
that
do
thing.
anything. If you have the right agility level, you can just sit there and just keep going because your run energy will just keep regenerating faster than you
pretty nice.
it up.
But yeah, okay, we're getting to that, Gina. And then they also mentioned that fire making, they said something, I don't know why somebody even brought up fire making for this thing, but they mentioned that, and it's
Same.
like,
Oh boy.
it's received 3 updates in the last 18 months. Why are you talking about that one being useless, or being, not useless, being neglected or something?
Firemaker's Curse, you have the bonfires.
And Jadinko Lair.
Circus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that has, and the way that they did it is such that Monmark has talked about, like, the 3 things, the 3 different methods that they want to do, which is one that is slower but AFK, one that is community oriented, and one that is faster but takes more effort. And you've got the slower but AFK, except it's not really slower, but it's still AFK, and that's Jadinko Lair. You have the community, which is the bonfires. Yeah. And then you have...
Wait, I thought the bonfires were the AFK
Well, bonfires are also pretty AFK, but that's community, because you're the entire idea...
Jadinko Lair is faster.
Yeah, Jadinko Lair is faster.
And it requires more effort.
And then the one that's fast and requires the most effort is Pyrelording Magic Logs, which is like 640k an hour, which is absolutely absurd.
No one does that.
But it takes
But it's
so much
expensive.
focus. Like, oh my god. It is terrible. But yeah, so they did... So
no one
nobody
does that.
I think they actually fixed that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, Gina. She says, you said XP per hour. I did. Come at me. Yeah, so I don't know why...
Come at me, bro!
I don't know why anybody mentioned fire making, but they pretty clearly said it's not going to get any more updates for a while. They also said definitively skills aren't going above 99. Thanks.
Well.
Which is like... They've said this for the past 3 years
I could
now.
mention other...
Since Dungeoneering...
I could mention other things that they've said over the past 3 years that they have recently
True.
reneged on regarding certain things
No
that are
SOS,
in
Sam.
the game right now, as well as something
All
right,
else
let's
they
stop.
mentioned. I guess we're going to talk about it in a bit. Actually, we can just talk about it now, which is the stuff that they talked about with
Quest related.
gambling, where they've been ardently
Okay,
anti-gambling up until now, but now they're like, hold on a second. There might be something to sponsoring it in-game so it isn't illegal and people don't scam and stuff, and that's fine, whatever.
Here's how I think they're going to do it. They're going to do game rooms revamp and add some kind of form of gambling games into
Viejas Casino.
That's honestly what I see that they're going to do. They did say, I don't know where or when they said it, but they just said they're going to do a mini game type of thing with it. And I think this is going to be it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and that they do need to update that games room like badly, like 4 years ago. They needed to update it
Not
before
even
it
that,
came out.
Yeah. It has really good potential. It just you get nothing from it. There's no way to show off anything, and it's just
That's the problem. People want to show off, and that's the interwebs for you. Anyways, speaking of showing off, we're gonna move into talking about quests, and the stuff that they talked about quests in there, and we've already had this discussion, so I guess we'll go through this stuff again. We all love this stuff anyway, though. That's why we're here. That's why you're enduring my yammering at you for a majority of the time. But yeah, so first thing that Rubik has written on his thread: ElfQuest planning to be in.
RTM2.
ElfQuest planning will begin in 2013 as they want to spend time making it a huge update. Therefore, the soonest it will come will be in 2014. A face, which is a fail face. No, that is not appropriate.
Why is that even there?
Not on that line.
It's not good.
Just because you're an elf
it's a bad thing.
Doesn't mean A, the rest of us are, or B, that we think that 2014 being the next ElfQuest is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not good.
Back in RuneFest last year, we'd heard the ElfQuest might be late 2012 or early 2013, but now it's not even going to be in 2013 at all.
I'm a How to Train Your Dragon fan. The next movie comes out in 2014.
Okay.
What?
The second movie. And like I've waited since.
Back to the RuneScape discussion, please.
All right. I can wait.
Dang it, Rubik.
That's what I'm getting at.
He is.
Anyway,
Rubik is a master of off-topic. Thank you, Walter.
ElfQuest will go off with Chris L, who won't be working on it till they've finished planning it. So he's going to be working on summoning and bossing.
Yeah, probably.
I think.
Is he going to be a Calphite King guy? I'm sure he will be.
Yes. They will be working on that. The Calphite King. It might be the Queen Black Dragon. No, King Black Dragon. I mean, is what they might do for the first boss monster for the evolution helmet. But I honestly think it'll be the Calphite King.
They mentioned. They already mentioned that. They said something in the podcast about King Black Dragon rework. Like they mentioned it explicitly.
No. It was right with they said a BTS video for the Festival
that's right.
of the Dead.
That's right.
Or whatever.
And they were going to talk about
October.
Okay. So yeah, we have that.
Who knows what that will mean? We'll get to that.
The ElfQuest, but the fact that it is in 2014, it is true though that Chris L is doing EOC now, and then I don't know. I think he'll be pulled off of summoning. I don't think he'll be in summoning the summoning update.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that probably will happen. But he will work on bosses.
Absolutely, because that's his thing. He might be doing these two things concurrently, which is likely. But I mean, as fast as he can churn out the content, like the 2 weeks for Within the Light, that's ridiculous. But still,
what's gonna happen is he just come with a storyline. And like what things are going to do, and what needs to happen first is the graphics team needs to go in, set up everything before he can actually go in and say, like they just start developing areas and what's going to be there, what's not going to be there. He's going to interact with them, of course, but it's not going to be as much as him actually doing something rather than just talking.
I don't know. Well, either way, that's a long way off.
I messed that up a lot.
That's a long way off, and as much as we'd like to see Prif in 2013 or even 2012, like, that ain't gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Nope,
There's no way.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see Menefos next year.
I think Desert will be a big thing next year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, they did say next year will be a big year for storylines. Or storytelling, but same thing.
Yep. because that's what they mentioned that.
I've heard that before.
With the god stuff and the desert gods, although they're all minor, they still collectively form an interesting dynamic within that area. And if they're doing god stuff, I would assume that would be part of it as well.
Very nice. I don't think we mentioned it, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there's the parrot in the palace. After the quest or whatever you talk to it, it'll give you a quick review of all the desert quests you've done.
Oh, I never
yeah,
did that.
I saw that. And one of the things that I thought was really clever was the parrot was that its name actually means like an airplane.
I don't know
in
that.
Turkish. I am not kidding. If just get rid of the KH, that means airplane in Turkish. With Chuck. And I saw the name and I was like, wow, Jagex.
Well done.
Nice.
The parrot doesn't go into too much detail what you did for the quest. They'll just say like
You're
2 or
a thief.
3 word answers to you about like what you for each part of the quest will be like you stole or you did something or you raided or something silly like that, and it'll do it like in 3 or 4 words. It's really simple, and it'll repeat.
That doesn't mean that it wasn't entertaining.
Like, it was entertaining, I will say that. It just doesn't go into detail about everything you did. It'll just give a brief description to stir up memories.
Well, yeah,
if you
that's
remember
all
doing
that
it.
you really need for a lot of them.
True. But I kind of wish they would actually go in detail on some of them.
Anyways, next thing, because Rubik is here now, Wizard's Tower receiving a big update, and along with it, Tutorial Island is probably going to be removed. They said moved or removed. I am relatively sure that it's going to be removed. And I mentioned this when Rubik wasn't here and the video was bugged, but I really like the reasoning that they gave, because the majority of players now have not been to Tutorial Island. I have not been to Tutorial Island. I agree with the reasoning on that. There is no nostalgic value for me to go to Tutorial Island, and for them to make content based around four-year-old players, 4-year-old accounts, nostalgia it just seems kind of dumb. And
11 prod.
Yeah.
3 years. Well,
yeah. I mean, there you go. I mean, 3.5 years is a substantial amount of time, and things change a lot, and player bases change a lot, and that means that there's a large majority of players have not ever interacted with it. So the only reason that you would do the tutorial update or to bring back a Tutorial Island something is for nostalgic purposes, which is kind of dumb.
Here's what I wanted to see them do, and I don't know how they're going to do, but with player-owned ports, I wanted to see them do that with Tutorial Island, put it on Tutorial Island.
But yeah, we'll talk about
that's what I want.
Player-owned ports
obviously,
that's not what's going to happen. So,
yeah.
One of the things that I said before while the video was being a noob, was that the way I remember it, people didn't like Tutorial Island at all. Like, I mean, on YouTube, I even saw videos of someone managing to die on Tutorial Island to get off it. Yeah, he managed to die to the rat.
He's a boss.
Wow.
No, the only way to die right, so is you had to like glitch it somehow. That's as far as I remember that.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, Tutorial Island has a lot of nostalgic purposes for some people, but for other people, they just downright hated it, or they've never been there. So, yeah. So while some people, Rubik, will be sad about this, other people will not find any loss whatsoever, except for the loss of an island that nobody uses anymore. But yeah, the Wizard's Tower, along these lines, the Wizard's Tower will be taking up that space probably with a double Ariane quest, similar to the 2 Ozan quests. Probably, it's unclear whether it is going to be like another replacement quest where it takes the place of, I don't know, Rune Mysteries or something like that. Or if it goes off on another, quest line. Or just a couple standalones, but I don't know.
So, you said the Wizard's Tower might take the space that the Tutorial Island was? Like, is it going to get bigger?
Yeah.
It seems like it. At least a bigger area for the tower itself, like a larger.
They may add
property area.
some. They may add some more areas to it, but yeah.
The problem I see with making Tutorial Island bigger is that it would become the size of Draenor Village.
Well, yeah.
Or the Wizard Tower, you mean?
Well, Draenor's supposed to be super small, but still.
Well, it would become like Lumbridge then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not that they want to make it the size, including all of Tutorial Island, but I feel like they would want to expand it just to the point of, where you can, or it would eat into Tutorial Island's space, and they would have to do something with Tutorial Island to either make it smaller or just straight up remove it or move it or something like that, and that seems like it'd be much easier for them to just wipe it off the map, just copy paste whatever tile they have for water over all of it, then work out a way to remove the beach and stuff like that. So
Sorry.
But yeah, so that's something, and then they mentioned something about updating and rewriting Black Knight Fortress quests with Owen's involvement.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, here's what I see, just like they did with the Ozen quest line, where they replaced Prince Ali and had his thing, and then they revamped the whole Al-Qaeda. They're going to do the same thing with Owen, or at least that's what I think they're going to do, where they're going to graphically update Falador while they do for his quest. What?
I just have to share this one story because I know that they have to change this to make the quest a little bit better. During my noob days, which was I'm still a noob, but during the days I did doing the free to play quests, I went through the Black Knight's Fortress and I was low on health. I had no food left. I just had the one cabbage, and I ate it. just
fail.
They have. Yeah, I know.
There's definitely things that they can do with that can seriously be updated, and that's the case with a lot of the old quests. I mean, as much as we all love them, there's a lot of things that's just what? So.
Yeah.
Also, Romeo Juliet getting a cameo.
We're getting to that. What were you saying, Robo?
Okay.
I wonder if they'd do that with Linza too, since Raptor.
But Linza already has Deadliest Catch.
Well, no. They actually said Raptor does not have his quest yet, Robo. They said that in a previous podcast. I don't know which one it was, or live stream. I forgot which one they said it, but they did say that he doesn't have his finished yet.
Anyways, okay, and since we've all been patiently waiting for this one, there is supposed to be an epically huge, seriously awesome quest coming out in the beginning of 2013. And yeah, the first thing that we all thought about was either Ritual of Majorat 2 or something like a Zeros quest, which I think they dispelled, but I'm not entirely sure. Because they talked about Zeros in other regards, and they said they'd do stuff with him in 2013, but I don't think they meant this one.
It's gonna be a Friday update.
Friday update.
What?
Oh, fair enough.
January 4th is Friday.
And yeah.
I do think it could.
So we're thinking either Dragonkin or Majorat, because the other quest series don't really make sense. Like gnomes, nobody's heard anything about that. Dwarves, they still need a finale, but that doesn't seem like.
They haven't talked about it, and I don't even know when the last time they've mentioned anything about it. To be honest, besides the last quest.
Have they mentioned anything about gnomes anytime recently?
Nope.
Doesn't seem like it.
Oh, whoa, wait. There was the concept art for the 37 gnome graphical update.
They needed that first graphical update badly, and then the second one was also well deserved.
Yes.
I still like the first one. They had when they re-updated it again, it just they seem like kids now. Like,
Japanese anime characters.
Oh god.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's what that is. So we figure it's probably going to be something epic with the Dragonkin or the Majorat. But
I'd say it could be rotten too because they were talking about how Dragonkin would be in the near future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And it's not going to be another recipe disaster because that's
Just because, yeah.
Well, they also said there's no plans for a 200th quest at the moment.
Oh, they did say it would be
Or a special 200th quest.
They did say it would be at least as good as
Chosen Commander was awesome. I love Chosen Commander.
Okay.
Especially because that was my Quest Cape quest.
It was
that
like
was
the first...
my last quest to get a Quest Cape. Which
was... I forgot
Wasn't that like
Quest
the
Cape
first
was.
series to ever be completed?
It was.
No. Whoa. My Quest Cape quest was Nomad's Requiem.
My Quest Cape quest was a Clockwork Syringe. I used the Nomad's rewards to get the charms for a Clockwork Syringe.
Quest.
But another pirate quest. Yeah, I forgot about the pirate series. They've been churning those out.
I still want to cursed our logo.
They haven't said much about Elemental Workshops either.
I think Rubik's just dying for a One Piece reference.
I think
oh my!
I don't.
Walter knows the story, and so does Robo.
They better have a One Piece.
Whatever. I don't.
No, let's no.
You wouldn't realize.
No.
You wouldn't realize it.
You'd spam me about it. So no.
True.
Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Talked about is trimmed Quest Cape, and this is something that people have been talking about forever. We have always wanted a freaking option to trim our Quest Capes. As I stop being able to speak properly, yeah. So we've
join the club.
So we've all wanted that, but what do you think would be the way that would happen? Like, how would you be able to trim your Quest Cape? What would be their take on this, I guess?
They should have more many
long time ago, when they said achievement diaries or whatever. That's like introduce a cape of that, and that was a thought way back then, but that's long gone from now. Or basically where you get now it could be where you get all those items. You get like the Mort Legs, Falador Shield, and all that, and you get the full set of that, and it would trim your Quest Cape. But that's something silly.
It's kind of unrelated because like the tasks and
they're
quests.
On the notice board.
True.
Yeah, some tasks have. Yeah, okay, but like some tasks have like quest requirements, but I don't think it's like a big enough impact to really say, oh, here's your trim Quest Cape sort of thing.
Quests have task requirements. What is the one that I think Blood Runs Deep? Yeah, it requires all hard.
Deep.
Fremennik tasks. But yeah, it's an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe they'll make a very, 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 very long quest, and then it won't be required for the normal Quest Cape, but it'll trim it. It will be increasingly hard or something. Like,
I mean, like they could add something with like the Dominion Tower as well, because that's clearly quest related. I mean, if you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Add Mornings in Part 2 puzzle with an addition to a Nomad's boss fight, like when it first came out and how difficult it was. Then you add all these other difficult things from other quests.
And how about make you do
all together?
They make you do the entire quest while running from the Spirit Beast while doing an elemental workshop puzzle and.
Can you imagine Morning's End puzzle with the Spirit Beast chasing after you?
Or the elemental workshop, like the gigantic
so
slide gear puzzle.
Oh, I loved it.
It was fun, but it was just like, imagine doing that while getting absolutely
no guide. Yes. I did not see the guide on that one at all.
I did Mornings in. I did
6 hours.
I did Mornings in Part 2 without a guide.
3 hours.
It was
no guide.
6 hours with a guide. Damn.
Really? Elemental Workshop
I
3
loved
took me
Elemental
about
Workshop.
2
I love all
hours.
those quests.
I spent like almost the whole day on it. I
Yeah.
would have almost gotten it myself, but my Dylan tripped me up on it.
Well, when it first came out, they had a little sheet that was supposed to help you and tell you what to do, but it was like glitched and you couldn't tell anything about the sheet, so you had to guess and figure out what you were supposed to do.
It was that weird spinny thing, and that the sheet didn't actually tell you anything, even if it wasn't glitched. It was like, well, you have to rotate the thing and then go up. It took me probably a good 30 minutes to figure out what exactly I was trying to do, and once I got it, then it started moving, but it was still long, and but I loved it. It was great. And the haters for EW3.
In the end, it's still fun.
I feel sorry for you people.
EW4 was just so simple, and I was kind of upset
quick.
about that.
I think they saw EW3 and were like, holy crap, this is too much, and they scaled it back, but they overscaled it back.
Mm-hmm.
I like the nature and astral doors that they added.
So.
Is that it? Because
I forget.
there's two closed doors that are still there.
I think would be the next two. No, it would be Cosmic and Astral. Because Cosmic is 30...
We already have Cosmic.
And they did say...
Well, Cosmic's already done.
Dylan just said that if there's another Elemental Workshop, it would be in
that's true, because they haven't...
2013.
I mean, I know that there's not another one being planned right now. Yeah, my mistake. They have Cosmic and Chaos now. And it's... Yeah, the next two would be Astral and Nature.
No.
Yeah, they have those two doors put in. So it's like,
I can't wait
more
for that
quests.
one. That is definitely something. But they didn't mention this in the podcast, because nobody asked a question or anything like that about it. That wouldn't be the first thing I would have thought.
And then you have the missing soul altar, which I think maybe at the bottom of all this.
They need a use for soul rooms
Workshop
before they add a soul altar, though. Like, everybody being like, oh my god, the ritual altar is going to be the soul altar, or or something in Darkmire would be the soul altar, or
Nomad.
Soul Wars.
No, at some point it was Nomad Soul Wars, yeah.
The problem is, like 4 spells use soul runes right now, and they're telly other spells.
Maybe we'll get the soul altar in the desert series because Emma's got to devour
But again,
souls.
you need a freaking use for them, which we don't have right now. And I mean, granted, that would be easy enough, I guess, but still, it's like, I don't know. I mean, even without a soul altar, the only income of soul runes into the game is the ZMI, which is dead content, and drops. There's still
some
dirt
drops.
cheap. I mean, they're like, what, 200 apiece? Because nobody uses them. Less than that even, I guess. Yeah. I know that they were like 700 apiece at one point a few months ago, but I guess they've I know that they were 700-800 at one point.
I never bought it. I used ZMI. I got about 1K total, and then I never needed them since, and I've had like 800 in my
Walter
bank
says
right
rumor
now.
had it that there was going to be new spells, so
And that's
they
like
went up,
over
and then there wasn't, and they went back down. Gotcha. Yeah, I've got like 500 chum in my bank doing nothing.
Anyway, Yeah. I just have hoarded runes sitting there.
You want talking about hoarded runes?
Yeah.
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 We've got...
Anyway, what's next on our list?
all we've got for quest-related information, unless anybody has anything else they want to mention about future update quest stuffs. Nope. Okay. Then we're gonna move on.
Not really.
Go through audio real quick. They mentioned that it would be brought up to date in quests, possibly like voiceover kind of stuff, more atmospheric sounds.
Here's what I wanted to see, and is if they revamp quest by quest, like depending on the areas they go to, and they revamp all the quests in that area. That would be cool. I understand that it would take years upon years to do, but it would be really cool if they did that.
Battery die. Wow, fail. This is why you use wired headset.
Alright.
Yeah, Lime says bye because he's a noob. And he
All right.
can't hear us anymore because he died. The battery upgrade was crap. G. Yo. Okay. So yeah, then that would be interesting. The kind of that redoing of all that stuff. But yeah, again, it would take forever. And do we really want them to spend their dev time on that and not new stuff? I don't know. It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Mod Rally said something like that. He said that if they were to go back and revamp all the desert quests, the current OSM quests would be outdated by the time they do.
So that's interesting. Something I've noticed about audio, music will be better, such as orchestra-featured ideas. And as soon as they mentioned orchestral pieces for that, I was like, yes, give us more of that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gordon, did you hear the music when it was the 200 mil stuff when that came out?
know.
Did you hear
I
the
don't
music when
think
that
so.
happened? No, like it was
No, I don't
full
think I heard
orchestra of
that.
the RuneScape theme, and it sounded.
Uh-oh, Rubik.
I'll send you a video
But
link
yeah,
later, but
okay.
it sounded really
Yeah,
cool.
send it to me, I guess. I
Uh-oh.
may or may not click on that one in before Rick rolled. But yeah, so that's definitely something that'd be really, really awesome. I love the orchestral stuff in games. Like it really adds a nice touch and adds a professional kind of like legitimate sounding kind of thing that you don't often hear, and it's great. And yeah, and being music minded myself.
It gives that feel.
Yeah, very much.
It gives that feel for it also.
Mhm.
Like it isn't what RuneScape music has been in the past, where it's just
8-bit MIDI files, go!
random.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Attack.
like
2.
well, pretty much.
Crap.
I forgot the word.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pretty
no
much.
offense to their older
Yep.
stuff, but
It's good. Like the music's good. And I'm not gonna say it's bad, but the instruments and how they do it,
oh yeah,
it isn't like good
Absolutely.
to today's standards. Like, yeah, Robo likes it.
I do.
Well, by today's standards, if they were going by that,
Want.
they'd be auto-tuning any voice
No.
they have in
Do
the
not
song.
want.
So,
do
yeah,
not want.
yeah, no
Anyways,
auto-tune.
Okay, moving
No
right along.
auto-tune.
Anyway, like the music that first came out was from Three Brothers' Basement, so that was pretty good at the
Well,
time.
you know,
Mhm.
But now it isn't
but they have a much
So-
larger thing.
compared to what it could be. If Robo heard the music that I'm talking about, he would like it.
All right.
So much
Well,
better than it is
anyways,
now.
we're gonna move on to the other section.
Sorry, Robo.
And this is just other random stuff that we saw. Player-owned ports. Is that still planned for late 2012? Is that like a December thing, or did they push that back?
No one
Well,
ever
they mentioned
asked
player-owned
that. They never
ports, but they
mentioned
didn't
it.
mention time.
So they didn't mention a time or place. Or
Along
anything
those
like that.
lines,
They just
something that we
mentioned what it
missed
was going to
earlier
be.
is that when they filled out the main map, people asked about new continents, and they said player-owned ports
No.
they're toying with the idea of having that explore the edges of the eastern lands. So obligatory eastern land spam here, but so that seems very interesting, the way that they're going to implement that. Definitely. Any other further thoughts on
Yeah.
player-owned ports, really?
Oh, I was thinking.
I do want to say something.
The continent.
About what?
I do want to say something.
About what?
All right, so you remember back in the 200 mil video, they said MMG said something along the lines, there's going to be something big or huge or something near the end of 2012. Well, if RuneScape 3 is in RuneScape 3 and the tablets are in 2013, and HTML5 and Evolution of Combat aren't it, what will it be? What will
Are you
it
sure
be?
Evolution Combat isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was just
It-
thinking.
well,
I was thinking
Evolution of-
immediately.
Evolution of Combat was already announced way before that, so it wouldn't be
You're
that.
talking about RuneFest?
Yes,
Was it?
yes.
Well, what do you...
No. During the All right, you know the 200
yeah,
mil
that,
account
of that
thing
video? They're
celebration
talking
they
about
had, right?
something he said in that video?
Yeah, they had a video, and in the video, MMG
Oh yeah,
he got bleeped out
because he said, "Oh, you'll have
because
to
he
look
was going
forward
to talk
to
about something.
beep in 2012, late 2012 or something, right?" Oh yeah, okay.
Well, people thought it was RuneScape 3 or the tablet stuff, which
Of course,
both of those are coming in 2013, so it's not 2012. And I don't think
of course, you have to
HTML5
think
would that be
about the
that big
fact
of a
that EOC
thing.
is being delayed for
I
3
would-
to 4 months. Like there very well could have been that a planned huge update in December for this year, but because EOC is being delayed so much, it's being pushed back.
True.
It could also be that super long,
Yeah.
epically awesome
That could be the
quest
case.
that he was
Or
that he may have been mentioning as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
we
we'll
can't
just have to
at
wait
this
and see,
point.
I guess.
But yeah,
Yeah.
then we talked about. They
Yeah.
talked a little bit, very very briefly about construction stuff, or that is coming.
I don't know why I said play. I put player-owned ports there on the thing, but it was supposed to be player-owned cities or towns or something. That's what I should have put. That they did discuss on that. That would be a cool,
Yeah.
interesting addition, but it was an idea.
Yeah,
nothing
same thing with
confirmed.
the
Nothing
discussion
in
about
development.
Pelgrim.
Anything like that.
Housing and Grand Exchange, and I mean that trading floor
Mhm.
that they have in between East and West Keldegrim would legitimately be a perfect place for Grand Exchange, because it would bring life to a city that is
Yeah.
really never used at this point. It's unfortunate that Keldegrim is dead content-ish.
Chris L said that
Except
he
for
wanted.
quests, yeah.
Chris L said he wanted a
wanted
Grand
a what?
Exchange in Profundus with the elves. Another
Oh,
Grand
Grand
Exchange type
Exchange in
thing in
Clifton. Okay,
Profundus
got
or
it.
something. The elf city. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that
Like
too.
he said that with Runeshore podcast. I forget which one it was. It was with
He wants
Well,
to
wanting
make
one there
Cliff
doesn't mean it will be there,
relevant
so.
Yeah.
to
that's what I
everybody.
mean.
Just like so, he's saying he doesn't want it to be
Mhm.
Keldegrim, which is way off the beaten path. But there's nothing there aside from the blast furnace that people would go to for repeatable content. And well, I love the blast furnace.
Lava
Oh yeah,
Flow
Lava
Mine.
Flow.
And Lava Flow Mine, which is
I've actually never been there.
Yeah. There are specific.
Yeah.
There's like a specific world for
I mean,
it,
you
so
can say
it's
that about
dead
a lot
everywhere
of,
else.
A lot of the stuff,
Mhm.
like a lot of the stuff is kind of dead
Same
content
with
outside of the world that it's meant for.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Keldegrim with the Grand Exchange. No form revamp anytime soon. QQ? I don't really care. Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I think
No.
staying away from the forums.
Too many trolls. Too many trolls. Yeah, well, we know you do.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I do.
it suits you well. And they said night and day and weather cycles are cool, but they're not feasible, and I don't blame them. That's absolutely ridiculous. With the stuff, the questions that that Mark was bringing up in the podcast about, like what would qualify the player as being nighttime? Would it be a stable thing? So if people only get on once a day
I
or
don't like
something,
that.
they would
Yeah.
only see one. I mean,
I like what my idea was, where it'll change, like, it won't change throughout the game, but it won't be based on our time. It'll be basically like a 6-hour day and things. So it'll go through 6-hour rotation.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I mean,
Still
Like 3 hours
I-
would be
I just
day,
think
next 3 hours would be night, 3 hours would be
it's
day.
an interesting idea, like on paper, but then actually putting it into the game, it just makes it sound silly.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
then you have to
yeah.
you have to take into account all the different atmospheres of all the different places and what
Yeah.
it's supposed to actually be. So
It'd be a big pain to develop. Like, it sounds simple, but it isn't.
Yeah.
it's kind of the whole thing. Like, what would Darkmire look like if the sun was shining?
What?
It would kind of. I mean,
I know what you mean.
It
though.
would
That's-
lose- it would
Or
lose the
taint is
feel.
perpetual darkness.
yeah.
still, it's just I don't
Tainted
know.
by
I mean,
Draken's
it was-
evil.
Yep.
I'm not actually kidding there. But yeah, so that was like patch notes. They said they were going to release patch notes video or something like that. So that's interesting. I don't see a real use for that. I like reading the patch notes to see what little stuff, but it's like, okay, whatever. Not going to mention anything about horses. Ardoin and Sears Village are in graphical rework. Yeah. Kandarin and Karamja needs a graphical update so freaking badly. Oh my god. 2001 graphics, GTFO Mang. Like, seriously, it's bad. I think Karamja needs one far worse than Kandarin, but that's just me.
Definitely.
That's just he who spent 400 hours running to and from the nature altar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, like, at least in the Kandarin, like, the trees are updated. Everything else, no.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, it's just bad. But, they mentioned the Christmas event may or may not have something to do with Romeo and Juliet. That old quest that I never did. Yay.
So,
huh?
Nothing.
Okay.
Thanks for my cat, sorry.
Oh, Rubik started saying something, but then stopped. And then gambling will be made safer, where Jagex provides different ways to do it. I think we talked about that a little bit already.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to the end of that discussion.
It's the best month of the year so far.
Huh?
Best month of the year so far.
Yeah, and along those lines,
Don't think you can
we'll go ahead and...
Don't think you can argue with it.
Huh?
I don't think you can argue with that.
With September being the best month of the year?
So far, yes.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. The God Wars was good. You have the daily challenges was whatever. The Ozan quests and the lore and the Al-Kharid rework, that stuff was good. Like, I do think that was good. Botany Bay, we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's kind of like a thing you have to look at over time.
So I'm gonna give it...
Now it's entertaining. But
yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Just
I'd say 7.
Just because we don't know the full potential of Botany Bay yet. If it does obliterate the bots, ban everything, and have this game and continue working for more than 3 months, this month would quickly go up to about a 9. But since we don't know that yet, I think a 7 is a safe bet for me, at least.
Yeah, I'd say about 7 too.
Any other?
I would give it about a 7 or an 8. Well, I gotta go for a bit, so yeah.
All right.
We're basically closer to the end, so.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys can finish it all.
Yeah. Okay. And Robo.
All right. See ya.
What?
Bye. Robo, what would you rate this month? 1 to 10. Go.
I would say about 6 or 7.
Is that partially because of your graphical issues?
Oh no, I'm not gonna let that put it down or anything. It's just that, well, there'd have to be a lot to make it go higher than that.
Yeah, sure.
Gina, I don't have higher standards, but I don't have low standards either.
Yeah. I don't think Gina's here. I just saw her thing flick.
I am here. I'm here.
You are here.
I'm here.
What would you rate this month?
Yes. Well, an 8. So I'm probably a bit happy about it since the Lord Noob Quest thing.
Yeah, the Lord Noob Quest spam is always good. Of course, we do always have to think that part of this month is definitely the live streams that they have done, and that those are big, because those are the first times that we've really seen them go out of their way to talk to the community in a widespread, and that's something that I actually really like. Like, I'm glad they did that, even though some of the things like the micropayments weren't what we wanted to hear.
At least we're getting like some kind of information from them about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They forgot the lore live stream though.
Oh yeah.
Well,
They forgot.
Yeah, well, whatever. We can bug them about
that.
Yeah. Next
Either
time.
way, it's a good start.
Yes, it is a good start, and it's something that they said that they will do once a month from here on out for however long. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So anyways, moving right moving along. We all rate this month pretty well. I mean, it was, despite the relatively lackluster BTS, like, I know that my reaction to the BTS was like, that's it. But it turned out pretty damn well. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay, and October BTS, which comes out in probably about 12 hours. What do we expect on it? We know that there's a Festival for the Dead next week. There's probably going to be a Halloween thing. What else should we expect to see? Any ideas, any thoughts, any hopes?
Quest.
King Black Dragon thing.
Oh yeah, they did mention King Black Dragon in the recent BTS video as well. So probably
I have no idea.
So probably KBD rework, which desperately needs a rework.
Yeah.
Although I'm surprised they aren't waiting till EOC comes out to do that. Like, all these boss reworks before EOC is just kind of like, what? But maybe that gets a rework.
Well, it could be like Queen Black Dragon, where the mechanics are already for EOC, but just the values tweaked for live game.
True. That's true. That's a good point. Because they did release that. They did start working on EOC before Queen Black Dragon was released, so they did that stuff. Okay, that's true. So maybe King Black Dragon. Do we expect...
Also...
Huh?
I wonder if he'll be as big as they made him out to be in that very old concept art of him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if they did.
How big was he supposed to be?
Because he was supposed to be like... Well...
Gigantic.
They like drew a player right next to the King Black Dragon to show a comparison. And like... Well, he looked about as big as the Queen Black Dragon, it seemed.
Well, the Queen Black Dragon was like a worm. So, but yeah, that her head is gigantic, and that's all you can fight. So, that would be interesting. We'll see. I do remember that concept art. I can't. I doubt I can find it.
Although now I wonder how the KBD heads in the house will work. Then if they make them so big.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. That'd be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how what that ends up being, because we know that that's coming soon-ish, maybe. But yeah, and then we'll definitely have a Halloween event, because they pretty much confirmed that on the stream. They were like, the Day of the Dead is not going to be the Halloween. That's going to be separate. Let's hope that that doesn't keep the thing of the quest update that they often have.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried that that'll be the case, but I don't know. We'll see. Hold on, we're at the end. But yeah, the October. I mean, if that isn't it, any ideas of what we could see it with regards to quest?
Before random dwarf finale.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Dwarf finale, go!
Yay.
In before Penguin
this month
Quest.
I've seen going back to Calgary.
Yeah. I don't know. And then there's always a graphical rework as well. So maybe.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I don't know. It's hard to say, because the stuff that they said in the live stream tonight made it sound like a lot of these graphical update places that we would say, oh, maybe Karamja this month, or maybe Kandarin this month, is not done.
Oh, what about Brimhaven? We still need that.
Where's Brimhaven?
That's true.
Brimhaven's Karamja, though.
Yeah, but they already have all the graphics made for it. If you remember from those old pictures.
Oh yeah, the Brimhaven dungeon.
All right.
Welcome back, Lime.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, Lime's back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. I forgot about that. And that was what, like 9 months ago or something that they put those pictures up?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Huh. So maybe we can...
Hey, wait, there's a potential for Dungeoneering revealed from that, because there's a picture that had the Dungeoneering symbols there.
That's true as well. In before random at floor 61. Go!
Yeah.
That would be nice. As long as I can do the abridged version, I'm happy.
I would be spamming.
I think 104 should be enough, and I'm 600 from 105, so I can't see them having the abridged any lower than any higher than 105. And welcome back, Surveillance, as well.
Hey.
Hello.
We're adding people right here at the end once again that we have lost sometime in the meantime because this has been a monumental thing. We've had a lot to talk about. The live stream was definitely something.
We can't then.
Huh?
How long has it been? 3 hours?
Yeah, almost 4 hours this entire.
But that's because, but we derped. We lost about 45 minutes in the middle because of my fraps crashing and we had other issues. So yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, now we can.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Right at the time. Here, I guess we can backtrack just a second. Get what you guys think of September. Like, rate the month on a scale of 1 to 10. Go, Captain Lime.
Rapist month?
Yes. Rate it.
17 and 3/4.
17 and 3/4 out of 10?
Yep.
Okay.
I like this.
He liked this month. Okay. Fair enough.
I had a good month.
Vay, what do you think?
I really did like it. I really enjoyed the God Wars dungeon. That was this month, right?
Right at the beginning?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't
really enjoyed Ozan's quests. Those are really good. So I would give it an 8 to 9.
Yeah, that's I think all the rest of us gave it 7s, but none of us really were involved in the God Wars dungeon.
Why?
So that's fair. Actually, I think I'm gonna bump mine up to an 8
you
because
guys
of the live streams.
This month.
But yeah, okay, cool. And you will not be singing that crap on this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was
afterwards.
thinking, no.
When I can turn
I'll
off
record
my
it and
mic.
put it on YouTube
There
and
you
like
go. Record it.
whenever the hell I get recording software.
There you go. Easy enough.
So you can choose to not listen
Yes,
to it.
there you go. Oh,
Perfect.
What's this for?
kid singing the DGS
joke-
song, I think.
Joke dungeoneering song.
I do not want. But yeah, okay, so, and then back to the October, anything that either of the two of you think / want to see on the October BTS? We've mentioned the given stuff, as well as maybe them finally coming through with the Brimhaven dungeon rework.
Halloween update?
But
did they mention Linza quest would be October or November?
it was Ariane quest, and Ariane both were in November.
Oh, Ariane. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Wizard's Tower. Okay.
And that was going to be a big rework as well, kind of similar to the Ozan stuff.
Well, we got the King Black Dragon coming.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
King Black Dragon in October. I think that they're gonna add new drops and new journals.
Be nice because they had the journals
Maybe
for
some more.
Queen Black Dragon as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I've never actually beaten the Queen Black Dragon.
Yeah, they had all.
I kind of gave up after a while.
They seem to like injecting a lot of lore into the quest, into the game.
I think Rubik
recently.
put that on the thread, and I just kind of glossed over it. Yeah, it was because it was randomly.
There's been a lot of hints of Dragon
Yeah.
King.
And I mean, every time you have a dragon boss, though, you kind of have to go back and think Dragonkin, because that's where they come from. I mean, but yeah, they have been injecting a lot of lore into the game in
they
non-quest
fathered the
ways,
race.
and I really like that. I really, really like that.
There's always the unsolved ideas of worms and metal dragons and stuff like that, but it's a big mess.
It is a big mess. That is true. Anyways, so I think we've exhausted pretty much everything. I mean, this has been a long one, and for anybody who's still listening, serious props to you guys for toughing this out.
Yeah.
Did we talk about horses?
We're sticking through.
I
the end.
talked about horses for 3
Okay.
words.
Yeah, let's not bring up the horse topic again. We're good.
Wait, 3 words, or lack thereof?
Pretty much. I think there's 4 words. 5 words. There will be no horses. Period.
Done.
And that's yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks to everybody who's still listening, and thanks to all of you who have come and gone throughout and who have stayed the entire time, etc. I think the only 4 of us that have been here the entire time. Actually, only 3 of us, and that was Kitten, Robo, and I.
I was with you guys in heart.
Yeah.
But my 80 headset
your
differ.
80s headset was like, well, no. Well, Walter, you came in. Walter came in right after the thing started, so he was not quite the entire thing. Yeah, I blame Ruben.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, big thanks to everybody who is here. I guess we can go down the list of it was Walter, Gina, Robo, Kitten, Lime, Surveillance, Rubik, and Cryptic was here at the beginning as well. So, yeah, but you didn't actually go anywhere. But yeah, so thanks to all of you. I don't know when the
not a problem.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I don't know when the next one of these will do is. Worst case, it'll be at the end of October. Same general setup, maybe a little bit shorter because...
Whoa, wait, can we please just agree on this? If we have a super epic, awesome quest that you mentioned at the beginning, like ROTM2 style quest, we will call an emergency podcast.
I'm down for that.
Sure.
I'm good with that. There's no reason not to, really, because for something like that, as long as we've all done it, yeah.
No, we should do that while we're doing the quest.
I can see that going
live
poorly.
stream.
Oh God. Yeah.
No thanks.
Hey guys, are you up to that point yet? No. Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, and spoiled.
Lucian dies again.
Again. What is Mo doing in this quest?
And Mo?
Oh shit.
And Nomad?
Yeah.
And what's his name?
I fear that what's his name guy. I don't know who he is.
No, it's
Steve.
And
Steve.
the barrel chest?
But yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for everybody who's watched, listened, whatever. And I hope you subscribe and stay tuned for some more of my stuff and some more of the clan stuff. I guess check out the clan's YouTube channel at, I think it's just Scrying Pool, SCRYINGPOOL, no spaces.
Wait, did you only say 1 O or 2 O's?
I said 2 O's.
Oh, he's got it.
I'm pretty sure I got it right.
It's your 80s.
I blame the 80s headset as well. It's a pretty safe bet to blame stuff on. Yeah, so everybody, I'd say subscribe to both. And I guess I will be seeing the rest of you guys around, unless there's anything else anybody else wants to say.
Yeah, you'll be hearing from us later.
Again and again and again and again. Yeah, alright, so...
Gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, definitely.
Bye.
So I...
See you later.
Alright, this will be it. See you guys next month.
Bye.
Cheers.